Can you hear me now? Sorry, must have like forgot to fix my mic. I had that problem earlier today. I forgot to like earlier today. I had to forgot to plug it, but I think I fixed it. Give me a moment. But thank you, Cassandra, for that. You know, I had some tech issues earlier with my mic, but I'm pretty sure you can hear me. Like I was saying earlier, okay, the 49 up here, that's my subscriber number. I've reached 49 subscribers now. And earlier I was saying, I'm thankful for all the love and support. I'm thankful for all the love support I've been getting these past few days from my videos and my stream. Um, this is the second time I'm doing another Tokusatsu stream, and this time I'm gonna try not to watch clips. We're not gonna watch clips. I have some videos on my playlist from our Pt.2. I'm gonna watch his videos. His videos are the history of Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, and Ultraman. So I'm gonna try to watch all those today on stream. But before all that, I'm gonna, like I was saying earlier, again, I'm thankful for all the love, support, everything y'all's been doing. Thank you all. Thank you for all the comments. I know you guys sent me a lot of comments. You said a lot of stuff. I'm gonna get through all those comments. I may not respond to each one of them, but I'm gonna read them and I'm gonna like them and heart them. But I do want to let you guys know I am reading your comments, and it's a lot. I have to get through. But again, thank you. Thank you for leaving comments. Thank you for sharing my streams, my videos, liking my videos. Thank you for being on my streams. I feel like YouTube, I can grow more on YouTube than I would on Twitch. I know it's kind of hard to grow on Twitch because of discoverability, and I feel like I've been doing everything right to get people on Twitch, but it's like I feel like it's not going anywhere. But here on YouTube, I feel the love here, so I appreciate all that. And yeah, but yeah, like I said, today's another Toko stream. I promise another Toko stream today. So today's Thursday. We're just gonna watch some videos that, like I said, the history of Super Sentai, the history of Kamen Rider, and the history of Ultraman. So I'm gonna get that started in a minute. But oh yeah, reason why I said I'm gonna try not to watch clips because my last stream got copyrighted. Now I got no strikes, thank God, no strikes on my channel, but my stream was copyrighted. Toei is coming down on me hard. Pause. They is putting the hammer to me because I checked my analytics. I checked my live stream towards the end of towards the end. I got hit with a lot of copyright, but thank God, they didn't strike me, so they gave me mercy. But I tried to dispute it. They was like, no, we're not gonna dispute your claim. Our claim is right. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna just keep the stream up. Oh, we made to 50 now. That's great. We made to 50. We was at 49, but we're at 50. But yeah, so I'm gonna keep that stream up. And I don't know if I should edit, trim out the parts. I don't know. I want to keep the parts up, but I don't know if I should trim it. I'm not monetized right now, so I don't know what would happen the day I get monetized. What I'll have to that stream. But I'm gonna just keep the stream up, and if something happens where I have to trim out a lot of stuff, I'll trim out a lot of stuff or whatever. But yeah, I just want to let you guys know what's going on with that. That Toei really was trying to copyright me. Wanna yeah, I just gotta make sure, check and make sure my stream is good on my monitor. Like I'm checking my feed from YouTube, cause last time I didn't know this thing happened. Like someone had told me in the chat, oh, such what happened. I was like, I don't know, and then kind of find out I was blocked. So just make sure. Streaming on YouTube is totally different from streaming on Twitch. I'll say that. I'm trying to get used to streaming on YouTube now, but it's totally different than Twitch. Enough yapping. Let's get to the reactions now. Like I said, we are watching. If I'm pronouncing his name right, is Akwami Toko. The first one is called Complete History of Super Sentai. I'm gonna show you guys. Let me make myself a little bit bigger. Let me get that. Okay. So I don't think we should be good with this because it's like edited. It's someone else's video. This is their, uh, history. They made a history video about Super Sentai. So it should good. They're like should be good with like copyright since like last stream. So, but again, this is if I'm pronouncing his name right, Akami Toko, the complete history of Super Sentai, 1975 to 2024, featuring Power Rangers. Let's check it out. Again, I am doing this is another Tokusatsu stream. I promised it since Thursday. I've been getting a lot of love from you Toko fans. Getting a lot of love from y'all. I want to say thank y'all. Thank you Toko fans for showing a lot of love to me. Even though this is not a primarily Tokusatsu channel, I do cover some things from mostly Super Sentai. Because right now, if you go on my channel, I'm watching Power Ranger and I'm making reaction videos out of Power Ranger. So yeah, even again, this is not primary Tokusatsu or Super Sentai channel. I do cover some things from it, and I'm still learning things. So, but I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it. But anyways, let's get to the video.
Largest, most creative, and successful superhero franchises in the world. Throughout multiple eras, Super Sentai has evolved with many different styles, themes, and stories, and today I'm going to be featuring every single one of these historic milestones. This video features every season of Super Sentai, as well as all of the important films.
Again, I feel like this should be a good video. Like, it should be a good video because there's no, it shouldn't be copyright because this is someone else's video. This is someone's edited video. I mean, yeah, there's footage and stuff. Maybe there's sounds, but I feel like it should be no problem with YouTube and Toei. Mainly Toei, because I don't know what's Toei's problem, bro. I mean, no beef with Toei, but I'm just saying, like, what I'm doing is fair use. What I'm doing is transformative. So I don't know why they should, try to, do that to me. But I just want to say that, just to say that. So me watching this video, I mean, it shouldn't be a problem. Especially because I like this format. I mean, I see a lot of streamers and content creators do this kind of format, like me smaller and this bigger. But, because last stream I had to make it smaller and stuff. But here, it's just a regular YouTube video, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Crossovers, and even Western adaptations. So sit back and relax. This is the complete history of Super Sentai. In 1975, Super Sentai would debut, although the series wouldn't be known by that name just yet. Kicking off the series was Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger, translated as Secret Squad 5 Ranger, created by Shotaro Ishinomori.
So I guess they had capes. They started off with wearing capes. That's pretty cool.
Who also created Kamen Rider and inspired by the legendary.
Kind of reminds me of Eva Knievel. Was Eva Knievel a real guy, or was that just a made-up guy? I don't know if he was real, but it kind of reminds me of that, like the way they were dressed.
1972 anime Kagaku Ninja Tai Gatchaman. This debut series ran for a massive 84 episodes from 1975 to 1977. In Go Ranger, a planetary defense organization known as Eagle, or the Earth Guard League, stands against the evil Black Cross Army. After the Black Cross Army destroys many Eagle bases throughout Japan, only 5 members of Eagle remain, and they join together to become Go Ranger. In their battle against the Black Cross Army, the Go Rangers would utilize a variety of different weapons and tools to give themselves the upper hand in battle, and they removed their helmets' visors to produce their individual weapons. They also had motorcycles and an aircraft named Varibloon, a precursor to the mecha that would be featured in later seasons.
I wonder what the budget was for this show. I wonder what the budget was. Like, are these like handcrafted? I mean, they are handcrafted. I mean, like, you know, like who did the costumes? That's what I'm kind of trying to say.
With a likable cast, colorful suits, and cool pieces of equipment, Go Rangers set the standard for what would become one of the most legendary superhero franchises in the entire world. 1977 introduced the world to Jaka, Dengeki Tai, a sequel to Go Ranger that was also created by Shotaro Ishinomori, featuring a playing card motif represented by the J, A, K, and Q on their respective helmets, which of course stands for Jack, Ace, King, and Queen. The series would begin with only 4 members present on the team as they take on criminal organization crime before being led by Big One, the first ever White Ranger later in the series.
Sorry, I was muted. Here's my question. I'm pretty sure you might mention this, but when did Red become the leader? At some point, where in Super Sentai did Red become the leader? Like, when did we start associating Red as the leader? I want to know. I'm pretty sure he's going to mention that, but let's find out.
Due to a lack of popularity, Jaka was cancelled early and the episode count finished at only 35 episodes, making it the shortest season of any official Sentai. Despite the early cancellation of the series, Jaka introduced many tropes and signature aspects of Super Sentai that would go on to be what this iconic franchise would be known for. This was the first series within the franchise to feature transformation devices for the Rangers to Henshin. This was the first series to feature a White Ranger, as I said.
Red is not always the leader? Okay. Okay. But why do we associate that, though? Even though he's not always the leader, it's just like the idea of that. I don't know. Maybe that's because of Power Rangers. I don't know. Then again, Super Sentai and Power Rangers are completely different. So, I'm not used to Super Sentai. I'm just getting into Super Sentai. So, yeah, it's just, you know, that's what this stream is all about. It's me learning stuff, and like trying to like learn from y'all, the viewers in chat. So yeah, but I just want to ask that question. You know, I kind of just want to know. So I guess it just, yeah.
This was the first series to feature a skirt for a female ranger. This is one of only 4 teams to not have the word Sentai in their name, and the first Sentai to air in the Philippines, with the name Lucky Aces. 1979 was the year of Battle Fever J, a team of international heroes representing various countries and the first season to be known officially as Super Sentai. After Toei worked with Marvel Comics on the Spider-Man Toku series, Battle Fever J would also be produced by Marvel and even featured characters from Marvel such as Miss America. Yes, sir. Each ranger on this team is named after various countries throughout the world, and Battle Fever J would help to solidify the Super Sentai formula going forward, with Battle Fever Robo, their giant mecha, and the first giant robo in Sentai history. Although Battle Fever J wasn't referred to as Super Sentai while on the air, it would later be recognized as the first season of Sentai, and then later on as the third season of Sentai. The origins of the Super Sentai name were...
Okay, so from my understanding, in the beginning, there was no mention of Super Sentai. It was never like established, okay, this is Super Sentai. That's what I'm getting so far.
Pretty messy. Battle Fever J was the first
so, I don't know why he had to clap. Like, was that like part of the performance to clap? That's really funny that they clap.
Sentai series to feature a Black Ranger and Orange Ranger. This was also the first series that featured mouths sculpted onto the heroes' helmets. After a successful third entry into the series, Super Sentai would return again in 1980 with Denshi Sentai Denjiman. This series featured a team of heroes that descended from the people of Denji Star as they battled against the evil Vader clan.
She looked like an early Rita, like a early Rita Proposa, before there was either a Rita Proposa or Bandora. Since again, this is Super Sentai, we're gonna go by the Super Sentai name, Bandora. But she looked like an early Bandora Rita. She got the laugh too down. She got the laugh, so she kind of got that look and the laugh early, early.
Featured within the Vader clan was Queen Hadrian, played by one of the most iconic Toku actresses of all time in Machiko Soga, who we'll definitely be talking about more throughout this video. Denjiman was the first
That's the actress. Oh my. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. I did think about that for a second. Wait a minute, because when he mentioned that, I was like, wait a minute. It's her voice. It sounds like her. It looks like her. It's her. You're right, Cassandra. It is her. I had to think about it for a moment. At first, I was like, yo, that sound, it has like the early sounding, the early look, but then it's like, at least her. So she was like, I want to say seeding the plans of Bandora Rita before there was ever a Bandora Rita. I think she passed away. R.I.P. to the actress. I don't remember her name, but R.I.P. I think she was also what you call Mystic Force. Like she became like a good person in Mystic Force. I've seen or heard about it, but we'll get to that later on, I guess.
Sentai to have a
I love her. I really do. She's a great actress.
Transforming robo named Daidinjin, something that would go on to become one of Sentai's most well-known characteristics. This series was also the first series where the monster of the week would grow into a giant to fight the mecha. This series was also the first season to feature an actual visor on the helmets, while seasons prior to this one used the same material for the visors as the rest of the helmets.
Let me read your okay. Snow Dude on the topic with that Tokusatsu robot Spider-Man. Basically, you gotta remember Spider-Man can basically be anything. We have a futuristic Spider-Man, aka Spider-Man 299, a old-timey Spider-Man noir. So Spider-Man having a giant mech robot isn't so odd. True, that's very true. I mean, there, if we're going based on that, yeah, there, you got the Spider-Verse, the Spider-Man multiverse. So yeah, but what's her name? Okay, her name Pt.2 Parker, right? Doesn't she have a mech? So I mean, yeah, you're right, because I now think about it, Pt.2 Parker, I believe that's her name. She does have a mech. So I mean, that definitely checks out. That definitely does check out. I just kind of, I don't know. At first, it was like I couldn't imagine that. It's like him having a mech, but then again, I gotta realize, yeah, Penny Parker. I gotta realize Penny Parker and the fact that there is a Spider-Verse, and yeah. But thank you for mentioning that, Snow Dude.
This was the first time that a Sentai had a device which gave them the ability to henshin anywhere, as before this they could only do it at specific locations. After the success of Denjiman, Toei prototyped various ideas for continuing on with the Denjiman story. After much internal discussion, Toei decided to produce a direct sequel to Denjiman in 1981, with the release of Taiyo Sentai Sun Vulcan, featuring the return of Machiko Soga's Queen Hadrian character alongside Hell Saturn, who is a pretty obvious Darth Vader ripoff.
Okay, that name Hell is it Saturn or Satan? Let me go back.
After much internal discussion, Toei decided to produce a direct sequel to Denjiman in 1981, with the release of Taiyo Sentai Sun Vulcan, featuring the return of Machiko Soga's Queen Hadrian character alongside Hell Saturn, who is a pretty
Hell Saturn. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm gonna be pausing a lot because I am having a discussion with y'all in the chat and all the viewers. I am going to be pausing a lot. Just want to preface that I'll be pausing a lot during this stream to like talk with you guys and ask questions and all that. But I'm gonna get to you, Snow Dude. I'm gonna get to you to your message. Um, the reason why I was like, oh, how it was Hell Saturn. I was like, oh, Hell Satan, because I know in Zoo Ranger there's a being called Satan or Satan. So I was just like, connecting it. But yeah, it's fine. But back to what you're saying, Snow Dude. Yeah, man. Oh man, imagine if he did that. Like, imagine he was the one to do it. Like, what if life was different if Stan Lee were to do that? Like, let's take a moment. Like, imagine if Stan Lee did that, right? Like, imagine that. What would life be like? Like, how would Power Rangers be handled under Stan Lee versus Saban? Because you know how whatever with Saban, if you know the history behind him. But like, what would life be like? And imagine this: what if it became ingrained in the Marvel universe? Like, imagine we could be living in a time period where we have like them part of like the Marvel universe right now, like some type like their own Avengers type movie or something. Like, I don't know, it's just the idea of like what would life be like if Stan Lee got a hold to the rights and brought it over here, and he was the first one to adapt versus Saban. It's something to think about. Because the fact that you told me that, I didn't know that. I didn't know Stan Lee had plans or thought about it, but now it just makes me curious. Like, what would life be like if he did that?
The obvious Darth Vader ripoff.
I would think that he would treat it with care and love. True. You're right. But I was thinking more fleshed out, like more fleshed out in a way. I mean, like, if they could like I don't know, just like be more connected with everyone in the Marvel universe besides Spider-Man. But it's a cool thing that they are connected to Spider-Man in a way, and that would be interesting to see, like in a Spider-Man. That would be interesting to see, like in an actual Spider-Man movie. Like, let's say, like somehow Peter Parker met up with a Ranger somehow. Like, he's somehow connected. I mean, they be doing Easter eggs and stuff, like. So why not? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they be doing Easter eggs and like, I can't think of the word right at the moment, top of my head. Like, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying? Where like cameos. They be doing cameos and stuff. So why not still a cameo of a Ranger? Stanley would definitely treat. Yeah, man, I'm pretty sure he would definitely treat it like his baby, man. I'm pretty sure he would. And yeah, so that's what I'm saying. He is a greedy guy. Look what happened to the original Mighty Morphin. Yeah, he's a greedy guy. Still hated how. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Oh my goodness, yo, you ever heard? Okay, if I'm not mistaken, I'm sorry for pausing the video. Again, we're having a conversation and discussion. If I'm not mistaken, I remember watching what's it, the Red Ranger from Mighty Morphin, Austin St. James. I think that's his name. If I'm correct, if that's his actual name, Austin St. James, I believe. The original Red Ranger. If I'm not mistaken, I remember watching a video of him talking about his audition and how he had to fight a karate master to get the audition. I don't know if you guys heard about that story or have seen it, but I remember that. And I was like, yo, what the heck? You had to literally fight for your audition. Like, imagine go to your audition and thinking you're just gonna like do scenes and like Nah, we want you to fight this guy. Like, what the heck? This is the type of stuff Saban was doing to them. It's crazy. Yeah, I just want to mention that.
The return of Machiko Soga's Queen Hedrion character alongside Hell Saturn, who is a pretty obvious Darth Vader ripoff. ブラックマンゴーの戦力は100倍じゃ
And Cast was underpaid heavily. Yeah, they were underpaid heavily. Like especially after the premiere of the series, the premiere of the show, and the premiere of the franchise. I mean, he clearly could have gave them a better contract. Like I believe those original actors should be set for life. To me personally, I feel like the original actors should be set for life. Like they're in their contract, they should be like set for life. Especially like how strong the franchise is, and like they didn't have like a revival or something called Reignition. And I saw at Walmart one time Reignition, like the toys, and that's the original actors, and you're using their image, their body, their like everything, and profiting off of it, and they can profit off of that. Nah, man, that's messed up, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of messed up. Like it's like they just gave their whole livelihood to this man, and that's like I don't know, man. He should have done better for them. Like I believe I believe the original actors should be set for life. Me personally, I think that in their contract, like anything, anything that they need, they're good. Like I just think so. Like it's just messed up. Like how you gonna do that to your actors that made the show popular, that made the show what it is today? Without them, we wouldn't have that. Sure. Again, wait. You know what? No, I can't give the man credit. I can't not give Saban credit. I'm not gonna give him some credit because it's not his idea. It's not his show. He copied it. He stole. Well, in a sense, he stole, but he copied. He took footage from Sentai and put it in MMRP. It's not his original footage. He just copied it. So again, the actors made the show, and I think they should be compensated very fairly, and be treated fairly fairly. My heart goes out to the original actors, and I don't want to see them. I don't like the idea of seeing them struggle. Oh, it is. Tell me about it. I didn't watch Samurai. I've heard so much about Samurai. I don't know much about it, but yeah, tell me about the new Saban era. The last time I watched Power Rangers was the Disney era. I watched the Disney era. That's like the last time I watched Power Rangers. True, true, true. That's very true. That's yeah. The Disney era was. I love the Disney era. I love the Disney. Wait, okay. Was the Nickelodeon era the new Saban era? Because I ain't gonna lie. After it moved to Nickelodeon, I kind of like. I would say I grew out of the series once it like moved to the Nickelodeon. Because the only shows I watched growing up afterwards, like after a certain point, was SPD, Dino Dunner, and Ninja Storm. Like after those, I kind of stopped, so I didn't watch the Nickelodeon like shows. So I'm pretty sure that's new Saban. I grew up just watching Saban and Disney. After that, time passed. I got a little older, got into other interests, so I don't know too much about that era. But I do remember seeing it. I remember one time seeing like, wait, why is Power Rangers on Nickelodeon? I think I don't remember which show it was, but I was like, why is it on Nickelodeon? And now, last year, I started watching Super Sentai. I started off with Zoo Ranger. Valid. Many Power Rangers fans stopped after Power Rangers Samurai. It's basically because new Power Rangers shows don't have any new direction or ideas that feels as fresh. Just yeah, yeah, that can yeah, that could happen. Speaking, you know what? Hold on. Didn't they have an auction at one point? I remember seeing something on Twitter like they had an auction of like costumes and stuff, and I think that like did not go well. When I like mentioned that. Oh, another thing. 2017. How y'all feel about that 2017 movie? Because I mean, that that was supposed to be like like we could have had a sequel. I don't know what happened to that sequel that was supposed to get from the 2017 movie. I don't, you know, I don't know. I don't know who's behind that. I don't know. Was that a Saban production movie?
This was the final Sentai series to have a Marvel copyright attached to it, but Marvel would not be directly involved with this production. This was the only official Sentai series with only 3 members, and they represented land, air, and sea respectively. This was the first season to have a combining Robo, and this was the only Sentai season with no female Rangers. The great Stan Lee was a self-identified Sun Vulcan fan, and he wanted to adapt it into an American show, but the source material was considered too childish and silly by his peers, which made it very difficult to get off the ground, unfortunately.
How stupid of his peers. Yo, what the heck? Like imagine again, like we were talking about Snow Dude. Imagine if he had the rights, you know, just the licensing rights to like make it happen, bro. Like, if it's in his hands and his care, bro. Yo, that's crazy. Sometimes you gotta watch the people around you, man. Sometimes you gotta like watch the people around you. You just gotta like go in solitude and think for yourself. Because sometimes people may give you good advice, but sometimes that advice is not good. And in this case, that advice was not good.
1982 featured a new Sentai representing various ancient civilizations, Dai Sentai Goggle 5, translated as Great Sentai Goggle 5. In Goggle 5, our heroes take on the dark science empire Death Dark, an evil organization responsible for the downfall and destruction of many civilizations throughout history. This show was originally meant to be called Go-Go 5, but that name would be used 17 years later. Goggle 5 was the last season where the Rangers would sport cloth suits featuring scarves, reminiscent of Kamen Rider. 1983 brought us a Sentai season inspired by the game of baseball, Kagaku Sentai Dynaman, or Science Squad Dynaman. This series was originally conceptualized as a baseball-themed Sentai that would have been named Baseball Sentai V-Leaguer, but clearly it was changed to Dynaman.
I kind of want to know how they made their mechs, like their like, I guess you could say Megazords. I wonder how they make those. Like, not to mention 2010s era Power Rangers shows after Super Mega Voice literally skipped Super Sentai shows like Power Rangers, Zenkaiger, and Zoo. If I'm gonna be butchered that one, Zoo Orger. What are those Sentais? Okay, maybe they're gonna mention that because I don't know those ones.
With more of a science theme. This series also has another unique distinction due to the
Yeah, I don't think the 2010s was a good time. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think the 2010s was a new Super Sentai shows. Okay, So those are like the more recent ones. Okay. But yeah, the 2010s, man. For for us over here, I don't think that was a good time. Then again, again like I said, I didn't watch the 2010 shows. I've only watched the 90s and 2000s. So
Excessive amounts of gunpowder and the prevalence of explosions in the series, fans in Japan would give Dynaman the nickname Kayaku Sentai because Kayaku means gunpowder in Japanese.
okay, 2015, 2019. Okay. Is there like I've seen a creator watching a Sentai on their stream once. I think it's like a 2020. Well, not the year 2020, but like the 2020s Sentai. I don't know what's it called. It's like the latest one I've seen. I don't know what it's called though. I'm still on the early beginnings of not necessarily the early beginnings, but like I'm still watching the Mighty Morphin equivalent and Wild Force equivalent. Matter of fact, if you want to, on my channel, you can watch my Power Ranger reactions. What did it look like? Oh, I can't remember really. It was like I don't even know what was going on. There was like I can't remember. I feel like there was a ship. I don't know. Like it was just. I can't remember. I can't remember. Maybe in the video he's gonna mention it, and maybe if I see it, I'll know it. But me describing it, I can't. It's been a while. Like maybe like last month I've seen it probably. But yeah, like I was saying, if you want to like check out my my Power Ranger reactions, it's up on my channel.
This is the first Sentai season featuring spandex suits for the team, something that would become synonymous with Sentai and appear in all but 3 of the following seasons. In 1984, Japan was introduced to Chodinshi Bioman, translated as Super Electron Bioman. Hundreds of years prior to the show.
Hey, thank you for subscribing. Thank you. Hey, we're growing as a channel. We're growing as a channel. I started this stream at 49, and I'm at 51. Thank you guys. Thank you again. Thank you for all of you, everyone that's in the chat, everyone that's subscribing, everyone that's liking the stream, everyone that's just everything. Again, thank you all. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. Thank you. Like I said, man, I was on Twitch, streaming on Twitch, and I didn't get this much, like, but that's why I'm switching over to YouTube. I'm switching over to YouTube and streaming on YouTube and making content on YouTube. I'm just going to be focusing on YouTube. I might go back to Twitch later on in the future, but I just feel like YouTube is like, I don't know, love here is better.
Oh, 5 people were showered with bioparticles, granting them power that would be passed down from generation to generation. The power would be lost.
Okay. Sorry I was muted, but sorry for the pausing. I was going to say, I think discoverability is way better. I feel like I could reach more people here than I would on Twitch. I feel like when I was streaming, I was like streaming to the void. But here's like, it doesn't feel like a void I'm streaming to. Or getting my content out. And meeting and talking with like-minded people,
Until the android Peebo brings together 5 descendants to fight against Dr. Man and become Bioman. This season took a lot of risks in regards to tone and format, skewing to a slightly older audience. This was the first Sentai with 2 female Rangers, and also the first season with a female Yellow Ranger. And this was the only season of Sentai released prior to Zyuranger that would be featured in Power Rangers, as Bioman would be used in a very, very early pilot episode. 1985 featured a team of military personnel themed around mythological creatures, Dengeki Sentai Changeman. In this series, a team from the Earth Defense Force takes on the Great Star League Guzma in an effort to defend the Earth. After the success of Bioman, Toei tried to recapture the magic, although with a focus toward appealing to both older and younger audiences. Various tropes that had been abandoned by Bioman would return with Changeman, such as the Monster of the Week format. The original title of the series was going to be Uchi Sentai Cosmo Man and would have been themed around space. This was the first season with a female White Ranger. 1986 was the year of Choshinsei Flashman, or Supernova Flashman. This series featured a team of Rangers who were kidnapped by the reconstructive Experiment Empire mess before being rescued and trained on different planets by an alien race called Flash. After returning to Earth years later, they would form Flashman and fight against Mess. But due to what is known as the anti-Flash phenomenon, they would only be able to remain on Earth for 1 year before they would start to take damage. Flashman is notable for being the first season to ever add a second giant robo in Great Titan. 1987 saw the release of one of the most popular international releases in Super Sentai history with Hikari Sentai Maskman, also known as Light Squad Maskman.
I see that the costumes are getting more, I could say, sleek in design. Like they're actually kind of like understanding how they want to design their costumes now. Like you can see the evolution in the costumes over time.
This series was originally conceptualized as somewhat of a callback to previous series, with the original suit designs featuring helmet molds that were reminiscent of Battle Fever J. In fact, the look of X1 Mask would keep this aesthetic. Eventually, during pre-production, the project would go in a new direction with a completely fresh theme, key power and auras. Our team would utilize internal aura power and channel this energy into a fight against Underground Empire 2. As I mentioned, this series featured X1 Mask, who only appeared in one episode, but is widely considered a precursor of the official 6th Rangers that would come later. This is also the first season where each member of the team had their own individual mecha, something that would go on to be a signature element of the Sentai formula. In 1998, Toei released the final Super Sentai show of the Showa era, Shouju Sentai Live Man, translated as Super Beast Squad Live Man. This was an animal-themed Sentai and was considered an anniversary season due to Gold Ranger and Battle Fever J not originally being recognized as Sentais. Our heroes were gifted students from Academia Island who fight against the armed brain army Volt as
Academia Island? I'm sorry, that just sounds so funny. Like the island's called Academia. Like, okay. Okay.
Live Man. Assisted by the android Colon, Live Man would add 2 more Rangers to their original 3-man team.
So like an early version of Alpha. Okay.
Being the first season to do so. This season was also the first season to feature a female Blue Ranger, and it was the first season with a Black and Green Ranger on the same team. 1989 brought us a vehicle-themed Sentai in Kosuku Sentai Turbo Ranger, or High Speed Sentai Turbo Ranger, kicking off the
Yeah, I was like noticing it's like early like Turbo.
Heisei era.
Which I think they have already like a Turbo Sentai. Not this one, but like another one. The one that Turbo is based off of. I think there is. I want to say it's Car Ranger, but I'm pretty sure it's not called Car Ranger, but it's called something. I remember seeing it somewhere when I was like looking for Sentais to watch. But I forgot the name, but it's what our Turbo is based off of. And I feel like this is like early Turbo.
Season would start with a continuation of Sentai's 10-year anniversary celebration, where in the very first episode we would see previous teams alongside Turbo Ranger. It's worth noting that this was not the 10th Sentai, but at this time, Go Ranger and Jaka were still not officially recognized as Sentai seasons yet. In Turbo Ranger, a team of high schoolers are brought together by Dr. Dazai and a fairy named Silon.
Teenagers with attitude.
To become Turbo Ranger and fight against the 100 Boma tribes. This season sadly had 0 roll calls. In 1990, Super Sentai introduced a team of siblings who work as teachers when they aren't fighting the Zone Empire. The Hoshikawa siblings were the first sibling team in the history of Sentai, and in pre-production, this show had the working titles of Vector Man and the hilariously bad Brother Man.
His name was Brother Man. I'm sorry, guys. This just sounds so funny. His name was Brother Man. His name was Brother Man.
1991 saw the introduction of a dynamic and exciting bird-themed Sentai called Chojin Sentai Jet.
Yeah, I've heard about this one. This is like before Zero Ranger. Yeah, I remember watching a video about this on YouTube. It's like the series before Zero Ranger.
Man.
She's actually kind of cute. Well, I wouldn't say kind of, but she's
Zone Empire. The Hoshikawa siblings were the first sibling team in the history of Sentai, and in pre-production, this show had the working titles of Vector Man and the hilariously bad Brother Man. 1991 saw the introduction of a dynamic and exciting bird-themed Sentai called Chojin Sentai Jetman. After gaining powers via birdonic waves, Jetman would take on the dimensional war party Vyram, and this series was famously inspired by Kagaku Ninja Taigachaman, the classic anime that inspired Sentai, featuring a squad of bird-themed heroes. After Five-Man failed to achieve the success that Toei had hoped, Jetman was planned to be the final Sentai in the series. But due to Jetman's success, the Sentai franchise would obviously continue. Jetman would make a few changes from the previous seasons, and those changes, along with the unique bird theme, resonated strongly with fans. When the season began, the team was incomplete until recruiting 2 additional members, and this was a first for the series. Additionally, before Jetman, heroes were referred to mostly by their color on the team, but this show featured the heroes being referred to mostly by their names, something quite unusual at the time. Jetman also borrowed from romantic dramas that were very popular in Japan at the time, even featuring a love triangle that turned out to be one of the most interesting aspects of the story. The series featured Tetra Boy, the first ever third Robo in Sentai. This was also the last time that a core team member dies, where after this, they were all 6th or extra Rangers. This series turned out to be extremely popular and just might have saved the Super Sentai franchise.
Now I know this one, which I need to finish. I've been telling myself, finish Zoo Ranger, finish Zoo Ranger. I don't know, man. I have so much stuff to watch on my off time that I get distracted with other stuff. I really need to finish Zoo Ranger. I do plan on making a reaction video on Zoo Ranger, because I was looking at episodes, and I see that I'm coming up on the part of Blue Eye, if I pronounce his name right. The Green Ranger. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it if no one ever seen it, but you know, I'm almost getting to that point. Yeah, true. The reason why I started with Zoo Ranger is because, you know, we all know that's where Mighty Morphin comes from. So I was like, you know what? Let me watch Zoo Ranger. Let me watch the original, you know, So I did. And I learned so much from it. I learned so much of the story, and I feel like it put all the pieces together that Mighty Morphin was kind of like lacking in a sense, because I didn't quite understand why the whole, Vita Bandora, what was up with the 1,000 year stuff, and I understand like the characters more. Like I understand the characters a little bit more. Like, so that's kind of like why I wanted to do Zoom Ranger, and I need to finish. I really do need to finish. I have like a lot of like shows and movies I need to watch in my off time, but I do need to like finish that and catch up so that I could do my reaction video that I want to do. Because I really want to make a video of it, like a pure reaction of me actually seeing this in real time. But yeah, yeah. Other Sentais do are better than Zero Ranger, most definitely, most likely. But for someone who's just getting into Sentai, and I want to pick something that I'm familiar with, which is Mighty Morphin, I figured that's the best way. And the reason why I picked Power Ranger is because, well, so I don't want something from that era. I want something. I want to go. I didn't want to go with a Lost Galaxy in space. I didn't want to do Turbo. I didn't want to do Zeo. I didn't want to do, Time Force or Light Speed, which they have a completely different name in the Sentai. But I figured Wild Force. It's like, let me do the Wild Force equivalent, which is Power Ranger, and I picked it. And for so far, I am enjoying Power Ranger. Power Ranger is hilarious to me. I don't know, it's just hilarious to me because like it's just the things they do just makes me laugh. And yeah, I just picked that as the series I want to make my content based off.
1992 was the year of Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger, themed around prehistoric dinosaurs and other large creatures. This series focuses on a team of ancient warriors from 170 million years ago who henshin into Zyuranger and take on the witch Bandora, played, of course, by the masterful Machiko Soga.
I love her. Or I picked her. I believe she did pass away, but I love her.
This series is notable for featuring the very first official 6th Ranger in Dragon Ranger, a man named Burai who is the brother of Geki or Tyranno Ranger, leading to an explosive and impactful story between them filled with heart-stopping action and a premise that's easy to invest into. This was the first season themed around dinosaurs or prehistoric creatures. This was also the first season to focus on fantasy instead of science fiction, and this was the first season to be given an American adaptation.
As Power Rangers, you will have access to a universe of power and will command a fleet of fighting machines called Zords.
I don't get it.
1993 saw the culmination of Toei and Saban's continuous effort to bring Super Sentai to television in the West with Saban's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Power Rangers would utilize various types of footage from Zyuranger.
Imagine this was in the hands of Stan Lee, like we were talking about Snow Dude. Imagine this was in the hands of Stan Lee, how things would be so different right now. True. That is true.
Including henshin footage, mecha footage, and footage from the villains. However, new scenes with American actors would be added. The show would focus on a team of teenagers with attitude who are summoned by Zordon and Alpha 5 to defend the city of Angel Grove from Rita Repulsa and morph into the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Alright, let's do it!
Power Rangers became an absolute cultural phenomenon in the West and would continue to spawn semi-annual releases well into the future. Back in Japan, 1993 was looking great with an epic new season of Super Sentai in the form of Gosei Sentai Dairanger. This season utilized some unique themes such as Chinese mythology and kung fu with some of the most hard-hitting and visually dynamic action that the series had ever seen before.
Here's my thing. Why they took just the White Ranger though and put it in Mighty Morphin? Like, what was Saban thinking? I don't know. It's just like it didn't. Okay, question. Was Alien Rangers part of Sentai? Or that's just American, or is that just American thing? Because there's some things that were just we created on our own. Like, well, Saban created on his own. But like I'm saying, like, just I don't know, this they was being cheap. That's why they picked just the White Ranger. It's just something about like Mighty Morphin is just kind of weird because you only got the White Ranger, but you didn't get the other Rangers. Like I just feel like there should be a bridge. How we go from Mighty Morphin to Alien to Ninja, and then to Zeo? Explain that to me. Like I just don't get that. Like in the midst of all that, they didn't have any new Zoo Ranger footage to use, so they replaced it with Die Ranger footage with White Ranger, Die Ranger suit only. Okay. True. But again, well, why not just use the footage from Die Ranger? Why not, in universe, in Mighty Morphin, explain why the suits changed? Again, how we go from Mighty Morphin to the Alien saga part of Mighty Morphin to, I guess, using the White Die Ranger for Tommy to Ninjas to Zeo. I mean, yeah, again, they didn't have the more footage for Zeo Ranger, but still, it's just the idea that you could have. I guess so. You probably so. He just be doing random stuff because it doesn't make sense at all. That's what I'm trying to figure. I'm trying to rationalize that. Like, it doesn't make any sense. How you go from okay, I know I said this multiple times, no, dude, but again, how you go from Mighty Morphin to having, just, I don't know, you just be doing random stuff.
This show features a team of heroes assembled by Master Kaku because of their high levels of ki, so that they can battle an ancient threat known as the Gorma tribe. This show's mecha and villain footage, as well as Kiba Ranger, were used for Season 2 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Kiba Ranger was a young boy named Ko, and he appeared to
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Exactly, Snow Dude. That's what I'm trying to figure out. None of this makes sense. I'm pretty sure they could have rewrote the script, the story, to make it more sense. Because right now, it makes no sense.
This show features a team of heroes assembled by Master Kaku because of their high levels of ki, so that they can battle an ancient threat known as the Gorma tribe. This show's mecha and villain footage, as well as Kiba Ranger, were used for Season 2 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Kiba Ranger was a young boy named Ko, and he appeared to grow into an adult when henshining. Die Ranger added a more aggressive edge to the series, and fans loved it. After Die Ranger focused on Chinese themes and story elements, Toei would pivot to Japanese themes with the Ninja Sentai Kaku Ranger. Kaku Ranger featured a unique and charismatic team of ninjas as they would fight against the yokai. Although this show focuses on Japanese themes, it is partially inspired by the famous Chinese book Journey to the West, a story about a varied mix of personalities joining together to go on a journey. Footage from this show was used for Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers, and
see what I'm talking about? See where we're going from? See where it just makes no sense right here? Like just like how, oh my goodness.
Themes with the Ninja Sentai Kaku Ranger. Kaku Ranger featured a unique and charismatic team of ninjas as they would fight against the yokai. Although this show focuses on Japanese themes, it is partially inspired by the famous Chinese book Journey to the West, a story about a varied mix of personalities joining together to go on a journey. Footage from this show was used for Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers, and the working title for this show was Ninja Sentai Go Ninja.
And then we just go to Zeo. Well, the Power Rangers equivalent is called Zeo, but
1995 brought us Choriki Sentai O Ranger, a season.
so Zeo is called a Ranger, O Ranger. I'm still stuck on that whole Mighty Morphin right there. Like, it's just, again, it just makes no sense in a sense, because at that point in the story, they became Zeo Rangers because of things happening in the story where they had to become Zeo Rangers. But then again, none of this makes sense. None of this. I'm pretty sure we all know that it makes no sense. I know all of us are grown-ups now, and looking back at it from the perspective we are now, it like makes no sense. That's another thing. Yes. And then we went to Turbo. Oh my god. Yo. Okay. Hold on. Let's this now. Then we went to Turbo. And from Turbo we went to space. How the heck would And then in space, there's peace in the universe, I guess. At the end of let's say Lost Galaxy or In Space. I get those two kind of mixed up because they're both in space. They're both space themed, But it's just the idea of like, it's just so funny. I don't know what Saban was thinking. I don't know who he had writing the show. I don't know what they were smoking on, because that's hilarious to me. Somehow, some way, the Rangers ended up in space. Now, I know they explained that. It's been years since I watched the show, and I know there's an explanation for that. But it's the ideal, the progression of the Rangers compared to the Sentai. And again, he's taking footage from Sentai and making it his own. But it makes zero sense in a way. Like, it doesn't feel like it pieced together. It's like you lost the plot at some point.
Season themed around ancient civilizations. In this season, the O-Rangers would take on the Machine Empire Baranoia. This show was the 20th anniversary of Go Ranger, and consequently Toei wanted to have a darker tone that would appeal to older audiences. However, some saddening real-life circumstances occurred, such as a chemical attack in a subway and an earthquake in Kobe that both unfortunately ended the lives of many people. This resulted in a
Ooh, this is my favorite Ranger suit. My favorite Ranger suit. I love this design right here.
Tone shift during the season in response to these events. In the West, this show was adapted into Power Rangers Zeo. O-Ranger struggled in terms of television ratings, but actually broke records in regards to toy sales. Also in 1995, Super Sentai began what would become a tradition with the very first installment of the Versus series of movies, in O-Ranger Ole vs. Kakuranger. This was a non-canon Sentai project in which both teams would team up together to fight a strange new yokai. This film would lay the groundwork for how Sentai team-up projects would work in the future. 1996 saw the release of one of the funniest seasons in the history of Sentai, the vehicle-themed Gekiso Sentai Car Ranger. Being a parody of Turbo Ranger, Car Ranger leaned heavily into comedy and featured some unique elements that would differentiate this season from others, one of which was a wannabe 6th Ranger named White Racer. Car Ranger was adapted into Power Rangers Turbo, which even got its own movie in the West. Car Ranger featured a lot of slapstick-type humor and took quite a few chances with the story, delivering a charming and lighthearted season at a time when Japan needed it.
I want to be rich!
Wishing for more money? All you need is your phone. No, go to Geico.
Sorry guys, I'm taking a message right now on my phone, but I'm gonna rewind. I'm gonna pause for a minute. I'm gonna go yeah, just give me a moment. Okay, guys, give me a moment. I'll be right back. I'm gonna take a minute, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back.
Themes with the Ninja Sentai Kaku Ranger. Kaku Ranger featured a unique and charismatic team of ninjas as they would fight against the yokai. Although this show focuses on Japanese themes, it is partially inspired by the famous Chinese book Journey to the West, a story about a varied mix of personalities joining together to go on a journey. Footage from this show was used for Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers, and the working title for this show was Ninja Sentai Go Ninja. 1995 brought us Choriki Sentai O-Ranger, a season themed around ancient civilizations. In this season, the O-Rangers would take on the machine empire Baranoia. This show was the 20th anniversary of Go Ranger, and consequently Toei wanted to have a darker tone that would appeal to older audiences. However, some saddening real-life circumstances occurred, such as a chemical attack in a subway and an earthquake in Kobe that both unfortunately ended the lives of many people.
Like I was saying, this is my favorite costume design. My favorite.
This resulted in a tone shift during the season in response to these events. In the West, this show was adapted into Power Rangers Zeo. O-Ranger struggled in terms of television ratings, but actually broke records in regards to toy sales. Also in 1995, Super Sentai began what would become a tradition with the very first installment of the Versus series of movies, in O-Ranger Ole vs. Kakuranger. This was a non-canon Sentai project in which both teams would team up together to fight a strange new yokai. This film would lay the groundwork for how Sentai team-up projects would work in the future. 1996 saw the release of one of the funniest seasons in the history of Sentai, the vehicle-themed Gekiso Sentai Car Ranger. Being a parody of Turbo Ranger, Car Ranger leaned heavily into comedy and featured
so it's a parody. Okay.
some unique elements that would differentiate this season from others, one of which was a wannabe 6th Ranger named White Racer. Car Ranger was adapted into Power Rangers Turbo, which even got its own movie in the West. Car Ranger featured a lot of slapstick-type humor and took quite a few chances with the story, delivering a charming and lighthearted season at a time when Japan needed it. With the release of 1997's Dingy Sentai Mega Ranger, the fandom would be treated to a cool new show themed around virtual reality, video games, and space, paying homage to Bioman and featuring a team of high school students as they take on Nezarigia. Mega Ranger would feature many high-tech gadgets and advanced technology that had never been seen before. This series also featured holograms on the helmets of each Ranger to denote their ability, and featured the first Silver Ranger in the franchise, as well as the incredibly cool and evil Neji Ranger.
Okay, so this was also part of Sentai, okay. But either way, this is, I ain't gonna lie, Sentai and Power Rangers, this is like one of the best moments when the Nega Rangers or Neji Rangers came. Yo, it's like the best.
This show was adapted into Power Rangers in Space, the final season of the Zordon era of Power Rangers. Mega Ranger was another dynamic and exciting season of the franchise, and the future of Super Sentai looked brighter than ever.
See, that's the thing though. This is a stand-alone series. Like, this has nothing to do with the previous series. But in space, again, the Rangers went to space. The Rangers went to space. That's how they end up in space. Somewhere after Turbo, they just end up in space. But here, this Sentai is a standalone series, so, and they're not in space, so it's like, okay. Nowhere did he mention that they were in space. I don't believe these Rangers, what they're called again?
With the release of
Mega Ranger. Okay, I don't believe. Okay, let's
1997's Dingy Sentai Mega Ranger, the fandom would be treated to a cool new show themed around virtual reality, video games, and space, paying homage to Bioman and featuring a team of high school students as they take on Nezarigia. Mega Ranger would feature many high-tech gadgets and advanced technology that had never been seen before. This series also featured holograms on the helmets of each Ranger to denote their ability, and featured the first Silver Ranger in the franchise, as well as the incredibly cool and evil Neji Ranger.
My thing is, I went back and listened again over for a second time. I don't think he ever did he said space, but he never mentioned in space. He never mentioned in space. He just said it's space, about space and technology and all that. Why in the world would the Power Rangers in space? Again, I know there's an explanation for that. The end of Turbo, blah, 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 blah. but it's the idea who sat there at the writer's table and was like, you know what? Let's send the Rangers to space. Why couldn't they just stay on Earth? It clearly, this Sentai looks like it's still based on Earth. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what's going on right now. The Saban era was crazy to me. Now looking back at the Saban era was crazy. This man was just pulling stuff out the air. I swear he was just doing whatever. I mean, at the time it was great TV. At the time, when you remember kids, it was great TV. I didn't really think about it. Now as an adult, I gotta sit here and question what the heck. And I'm just questioning everything because, like, what the heck? How did how did this end up? Oh God.
This show was adapted into Power Rangers.
Now I kind of understand why some people prefer the Sentais now. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh, Sentai is superior." I mean, it is in a way, but I'm not gonna sit here like downplay Power Rangers. Again, I grew up watching Power Rangers, but I can unlearn things. I could grow as a person, and develop taste. So that's kind of what I'm right now. I'm in my part of my life where I'm developing taste for newer, better things, and just realizing, wow, I feel like we got the short end of the stick. I feel like they played in our faces in a way. I don't know. That's just my thoughts, I just feel like they play in our faces. Because what in the world?
Space, the final season of the Zordon era.
And again, we ate that up. We really sat there and was like, yeah, again, this is going based of, this was like late 90s, and I was a kid at the time, about 4 or 5 years old watching this. It's like, yeah, this is just like the greatest thing, the greatest cinema. Now as an adult, it's like, what the heck? Like, that makes, like, I don't know, just that's why I watched Zoo Ranger. That was the reason why I watched Zoo Ranger, is because I look at Zoo Ranger, I look at Mighty Morphin, it's like, cool, man, Morphin's great. I love Mighty Morphin, but then story wise, it's like Zoo Ranger is a better story. I love the cast in Mighty Morphin. I love Mighty Morphin, but realistically, Zoo Ranger has a better story. It has more lore. It makes more sense. I'll give you an example. The Megazords. I found out in Zoo Ranger, the Megazords are actually gods. They're not these mindless machines. Whereas in Power Rangers, there's just like these mindless machines that get together and they form this mech, this big mech. No, they're sentient beings. They have feelings just like us. And Saban just took that and it's like made them mindless robots. You see what I'm saying? But again, I love Mighty Morphin. I love Power Rangers. It's just, as an adult, as growing up, having developed more taste for different things, it's like, yeah. But I'm still watch. I'm probably go watch Mighty Morphin or any of the Saban era shows or any of the Disney era shows or whatever. Watch it, but yeah, true. Like, yeah, that's right. It's like the Megazords are just these mindless robots. Like, come on, man. They're part of the story too. They're more than just these mindless things. They're part of the story. They and in Power Ranger, it's like I believe they're also some type of being, some type of gods too, or something. I have to still continue watching Power Ranger because it's like I remember in one of the episodes, the Red Ranger was talking to his I guess his mech, and he was like getting I want to say wisdom from it or something. Can't remember exactly, but it's just like they have personal connections with them. It's like personal connections with their mechs. It's like a deep bond. Like in Power Rangers, like I don't think they have a deep bond with their Megazords or the mechs at all. It's just like call the Megazord and get it to farm into, you know. Whereas like in Sentai, it's like a deep bond, a deep relationship, because the Rangers need their mechs just like the mechs need their Rangers.
Of Power Rangers. Mega Ranger was another dynamic and exciting.
But again, like I still love Power Rangers. It's still one of my favorite things. It just looking, taking off the the rose-colored glasses. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm just taking off the rose-colored glasses. Like, wow, we really did get the short end of the stick.
Season of the franchise, and the future of Super Sentai looked brighter than ever.
銀河を貫く伝説の刃聖獣戦隊銀河
1998's Super Sentai release was Seiju Sentai Gingaman, or Star Beast Squad Gingaman, featuring a team of warriors who take on the space pirates Balban. Gingaman uses quite a few motifs and themes, many of which are callbacks to the earlier Sentai seasons, such as legendary warriors, knights, and pirates.
銀河イエロー
This was the final Sentai series to air alongside a Metal Hero show, and the final season to feature the word man in the title. This was also the last Sentai series to use illustrated eye catches before and after commercials. Gingaman was adapted into Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, and
Okay, let's run that back. Cause what? Let's run it back, guys. He mentioned that this Sentai was based on what?
貫く伝説の刃聖獣戦隊銀河
1998's Super Sentai release was Seiju Sentai Gingaman, or Star Beast Squad Gingaman, featuring a team of warriors who take on the space pirates Balban. Gingaman uses quite a few motifs and themes, many of which are callbacks to the earlier Sentai seasons, such as legendary warriors, knights, and pirates.
銀河イエロー
Knights and pirates. Even though I believe the villains are space pirates. Okay, let's continue. Before I say anything, let's just continue. How to run it back? How to because this is what Lost Galaxy is based off of, right? Remember, this is what Lost Galaxy is based off of. So.
This was the final Sentai series to air alongside a Metal Hero show, and the final season to feature the word man in the title. This was also the last Sentai series to use illustrated eye catches before and after commercials.
銀河レッドユーマ
Gingaman was adapted into Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, and Gingaman was the first Sentai season in which the episodes weren't referred to as episodes, but instead chapters.
救急戦隊
I'm just trying to figure out what is Giga Man and Lost Galaxy. How do you compare those two? Like, how do you make sense of Lux? Again, what the Rangers even in Mega Ranger and the last one, I can't remember. Now I can't remember because it's like. Starts with G. Giga Ranger. I'm sorry, guys. It's a lot to process. I'm just like dumbfounded by all this.
銀河を貫く伝説の刃聖獣戦隊銀河
1998
Okay. Ginga Ranger. Okay, I got it. Ginga Ranger and Mega Ranger. How the heck you put those two and make them be in space? How the heck does Mega Rangers and Giga Rangers end up in space? Sure, there might. Giga Ranger has nothing to do with space. The only thing I guess you could say is space, from what he said, was the space pirates. Okay, the space pirates could have came onto Earth. And Mega Ranger, it just has some space elements. I mean, because it's kind of sci-fi, or done with technology and stuff. But it's just Oh God, I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of all this right now. I'm just trying to make sense of all this. Like, let me know if I'm making sense. Like my questions, if my questions, me questioning this is making sense. 'Cause it it feels like it make like I'm just what?
Season in which the episodes weren't referred to as episodes, but instead chapters.
救急戦隊ゴーゴー5出場
1999 brought us a Sentai themed around emergency services in QQ Sentai Go-Go 5. This show featured a team of 5 siblings as they battle against the Saima clan. Being themed around emergency services and rescues, this show featured heart-stopping action and a true sense of danger for our heroes. It was very clear from the first episode that this would be an action and drama-heavy season, but Toei would be sure to add just enough charm to keep things optimistic. This show was adapted into Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue, and Go-Go 5 was the last Sentai series to only feature 5 Rangers, with none being added later.
タイムレッドブルーグリーンイエローグリーンタイムレッド
With 2000 being the last year of the millennium, the world was obsessed with time, and Japan was no different, leading to the release of Mirai Sentai Time Ranger. Asking fans to grasp the infinite future, this show had a time travel theme, and as such,
You know what? I think this. To be honest with you guys, I know I said Zero Ranger is like my first Sentai. Technically, Time Ranger is my first Sentai. I just want to be honest with you guys. I'm gonna say why I say technically. Pluto TV. You guys know anything about Pluto TV? It's like this free app you can watch like TV shows and movies on. You know, kind of like you could say like free alternative to cable. Well, there was a time, let's see, last year or so, they had the Tokusatsu channel. They had their own like channel on Pluto TV, Tokusatsu. And I checked it out. I was like, yo, because like I was just scrolling on Pluto, and I came across it. I was like, yo, what's this? And I literally sat there and I was like, oh, I just had it on in the background, like on my PC. I went on PlutoTV.com and stuff, because that's what I do sometimes. I put on PlutoTV.com, and I have it on in the background. Sometimes I like to watch. I know they. Okay, I'm going off a tangent, but I know they added the Pokemon series. They had their own Pokemon channel, so I watched that in the background, or Garfield, the Garfield channel, or the Nickelodeon channel, whatever, or TV Land channel. Because I like to watch Sabrina Teenage Witch and The King of Queens, stuff like that in the background. But anyways, they had their own like Tokusatsu channel, which is it's on YouTube now. It's called Tokusatsu. So I put it on the background one day and I saw that they was playing like episodes of Time Ranger. So I was like watching some Time Ranger. It was the episodes were out of order, so I don't really know what was going on. I just had it on, and I was like, "Oh, I like this." So it piqued my interest. It piqued my interest in wanting to get into Sentai, and I was so mad when it was gone, bro. I was like, "Yo, I want to watch some Sentai, man. I want to watch some Sentai." And I went to go, and like they took it off Pluto. I was like, "Man," but then I found they had a YouTube channel, and I subscribed to the YouTube channel, and Tubi, yo. Thank God for Tubi, bro. That's how I'm watching Sentai. Tubi has every, I want to say, really all from Zoo Ranger, I believe up to now, maybe up to now, or up to the 2000s of Sentai. And I was like, yes, I could finally watch Sentai. So I'm glad for that. And they also had a Godzilla channel. And that made me mad too, because I was like, what if I want to watch some Godzilla movies? Like some Toei Godzilla, just to have on in the background. I can't do that now because they took that. But yeah, I just want to say that I think Time Ranger is kind of my first Sentai. But Zoo Ranger is like my first Sentai that I really dive in, actually from start to middle, because I'm not at the end yet. I never finished Zoo Ranger, so start to middle I've watched. But Time Ranger is like I'll watch it in the background and pique my interest in Sentai. And me like going on YouTube, like looking up, like learning what Sentai was. I didn't know nothing about Sentai, so I looked up on YouTube and was watching videos explain what Sentai is. Like, okay, and I told myself maybe one day I'll watch some Sentai, and here we are, guys. Today, I just want to mention that. Just want to let y'all guys know that. Little fun fact, little background story, little lore about me.
It featured a team of time-traveling soldiers, with 4 of them being from the year 3000, as they take on Don Donero and the Launders. Time Ranger went in bold new directions with the story, unafraid to explore a darker tone, and this season would go down in history as one of the most mature Sentai seasons of all time.
Time Fire!
This Sentai was adapted into Power Rangers Time Force in the West, and Time Ranger was the first Sentai season to feature the now iconic Super Sentai series logo at the beginning of every episode. This was also the first Sentai season to have a red 6th Ranger, as well as the first season to air alongside a Kamen Rider show, which was Kuga.
This is where I'm at, and right here, this part right here.
Rider show, which was Kuga.
This is the Sentai I'm watching right now. And I just reacted to this episode right here. I believe this is episode 2 or 3. Is it episode 2 or 3 of Power Ranger? I just reacted to this, and I'm gonna lie to you guys, this is hilarious. This is what probably one of the funniest episodes to me, because why, or like the little henchmen, why were they doing this? Why would they, like, okay, it's so funny because they were getting information and they were like getting attack mode and they would tap their heads, and that was like the funniest thing because I didn't understand why. I just bust out laughing because I was like watching the little henchmen doing this, and it's so funny. And you guys could go check out my Power Ranger reactions videos, but I'll say this. Okay, so this barbed wire guy, the Red Ranger is like asking him about good and evil, and he's like basically the barbed wire villain was like, in a sense, saying he does it for the love of the game. Yeah, he just does it for the love of the game. He just loves being evil. There's no reason to it, like, because the Red Ranger is like conflicted on good and evil, like trying to like reason with the villains, but there's no reason with them. They just do it just to do it. He has no reason. Like he just does it because he's evil. Like, just like. So there was no reason to reason. Then he realizes, okay, I can't reason them. Might as well just stop them. And, that's where the fight sequence and action start coming in. But yeah, this was a funny episode. Guys, go check out my reaction. And also go watch the episode for yourself, too. You can watch my reaction and watch the episode for yourself. It's hilarious to me. I love Power Ranger because Power Ranger is hilarious. Like, it's just so much funny moments so far. And I ain't gonna lie, I was on Twitter and I seen a clip. I think it's from either episode 4 or 5. When I do my reaction for 4 and 5, bro, and I see that clip, I know I'm gonna bust out laugh. Cause it's just, I feel like this show is so unserious at moments. It's just, they be doing things to me that's so unserious and it's just so funny. I just want to mention that.
110 Sentai!
In 2001, Toei released Hayakuju Sentai Gao Ranger, an animal-themed Sentai. This series followed a group of warriors as they fight against Org.
Kind of gave me a little Captain Planet in a way. I mean, the way the first episode established itself, it kind of gave me a little bit of Captain Planet vibes, a little bit.
Being an animal-themed Sentai, Gao Ranger had a wild.
This right here. This is why
In 2001, Toei released Hayakuju Sentai.
Okay, guys, watch this. I muted the volume because so you guys can hear me, but watch this. Watch this. This is hilarious. This is what makes me laugh. Why were they doing this? Why were they doing this? I'm pretty sure he's explained that, but it's just the idea of like. Why did I do that? Why did they do that though? I can't take this so seriously. Like, it makes me laugh so hard because why would they do that? I get it. It's animal themed, but it's just hilarious though. It's just, oh my gosh, I'm like literally kind of shedding tears of laughter from this. This is hilarious. This is very hilarious. Oh my god, this is hilarious. This is this is so hilarious. Okay, before we get back to the video, have any of y'all watched Wild Force? And let me know if my memory serves me correctly, or am I? Oh, that was just my like 7-year-old, 8-year-old mind not processing that correctly. But in Wild Force, were they running in the woods? Were the Rangers like legitimately running in the woods? Because I just remember in like a scene, just like yesterday, watching Wild Force, and there was this running in the woods. And from that memory, maybe want to watch Power Ranger. And I'm thankful to watch Power Ranger because I get moments like this.
Theme Sentai. This series followed a group of warriors as they fight against Org. Being an animal theme Sentai,
I just get moments like this, and it just makes my day happy. It just makes my day. Okay, let's get back to the video.
Ranger had a wild tone and style that really worked well. This show would also feature some unique elements that hadn't been seen before. Gal Ranger was the first Sentai to feature auxiliary mecha that can interact and combine with the other mecha featured on the show. This was the first Sentai where the entire team used cell phones to henshin, and this was the first Sentai to have longer, extended roll calls for each Ranger.
Fun fact: as far as I know, they don't use their names. I believe the Yellow Ranger told the Red Ranger, like, because I was like, I'm only 3 episodes in, and I was like, I never noticed them say their names, and I believe it was the Yellow Ranger. He like mentioned about like after like they become Rangers, like their past is done, like they become a new person, like so you're just your color, So he just Gal Red, Gal Yellow, Gal White, Gal Black, and Gal Blue. That's just your name. Your old identity is done for. It's kind of like in Men in Black, kind of like in Men in Black where Will Smith's character, he becomes a new person. He has a new identity, kind of like that.
Gal Ranger was adapted into Power Rangers Wild Force, and this was the first Sentai season to be released on DVD. 2002 saw the release.
What was?
妊婦戦隊ハイレンジャー参上
2000.
Okay, that's so funny. Wait, was it Ninja Storm? Because I remember there's like a scene in Ninja Storm. I believe it was Ninja Storm, and the Rangers was like watching TV, and like I guess to them it was like a parody of them or something, and it was like they were watching like the Sentai version of themselves or something. I want to say it was Ninja Storm, but it was just like so funny because let me know if I'm correct. It was that. It's been a while, but I've seen Ninja Storm.
2002 saw the release of another ninja-themed Sentai in Ninpu Sentai Hurricaneer. This series had a focus on elemental ninjutsu powers and followed the students of a ninja academy as they fight against the group that killed many of their fellow ninja students, the evil space ninja group Jakanja. This series took what worked with Kaku Ranger, but dialed up the action and charm to deliver an incredibly well-balanced and memorable season, complete with a stellar cast and several unique new characters that would further differentiate it from other seasons. We would start with 3 Rangers, before adding the insect-themed duo, the Go Riders, and the incredibly cool and entertaining Shurikinger.
Good question. If anyone's seen this Sentai,
the action and charm to deliver an incredibly well-balanced and memorable season, complete with a stellar cast and several unique new characters that would further differentiate it from other seasons. We would start with 3 Rangers, before adding the insect-themed duo, the Go Riders, and the incredibly cool...
Okay. This is good, okay. These two, right? If I'm not mistaken, are they brothers in Ninja Storm? It's been a long time. It's been a while. I was like about 8, 9, 10 years old when I seen this show. So memory kind of, it's been a while. I remember the story, remember the back lore and stuff. But I do believe in Ninja Storm, these two were brothers, and they were the bad guys at first. They were bad, turned good. But I'm trying to ask those who watch the Sentai version of this, Hurricaneer, right? If I pronounce that right. Were they good? I mean, were they bad turned good, and are they brothers? Because in Power Rangers, they like to switch things. Like they switch things and turn things around. Oh, fun fact: in Zyuranger, for those who don't know about Zyuranger, the Yellow Ranger is a guy, right? Like I was saying, like I don't know, because in Power Rangers they switch things around, and so. But yeah, in Zyuranger, the Yellow Ranger is a guy, and in Mighty Morphin, the Yellow Ranger is a girl. She's a female. But that's why I bring that up, because I'm trying to figure out the same thing with these guys. Were they brothers? Were they bad turned to good? Like what their story in Hurricaneer? What's their lore? What's their backstory? Let me know if anyone's seen this.
An entertaining Shurikenja.
I am Ninja of Ninja, Tenku Ninja, Shugenja, Sanjo!
Eventually adapted into Power Rangers Ninja Storm, this is the first season to feature 2 red and 2 blue.
What's it, Dino Thunder? That scene, I think it was Dino Thunder. I don't know. I can't even remember. Is it Ninja Storm or Dino Thunder? That whole, they was watching the Sentai version of themselves.
Rangers on the same team, and this show was originally planned to be called Dainin Sentai Ninja Man or Great Ninja Squad Ninja Man. Toei would release another Dino-themed season in 2003 with Bakuryu Sentai Aba Ranger, following a team of heroes brought together by their Dino Guts to fight against the Evolians.
Did you say Dino Guts?
Toei would release another Dino-themed season in 2003 with Bakuryu Sentai Aba Ranger, following a team of heroes brought together by their Dino Guts to fight against...
Wait, Dino Guts? What's that?
The Evolians. The premise of this show was very unique, having to do with a parallel Dino Earth that was created when a meteor struck Earth millions of years ago. Aba Ranger would also introduce the world to one of the coolest, most intimidating villains in the history of Sentai that would eventually become an ally and an Aba Ranger himself, Abare Kira. Footage of this show would be used for Power Rangers Dino Thunder, and this was the first season where the only female ranger on the team is a Yellow Ranger.
Oh, yes. Okay, I'll say this, guys. After this, which for us is SPD. Okay, I've got some questions about this, because I made a video. If you go watch, I did a reaction video about Jack from SPD. And it's about Cougar. In part of my video, I talk about Cougar. I want to ask you guys. I want to ask you guys about that. I'm pretty sure you're going to mention Cougar in this. But I'll say this. After SPD, I haven't watched Power Rangers after that. I stopped watching the franchise, stopped watching the series. I got a little older. So, after that, I don't know nothing about Power Rangers. I know this is Sentai, but I'm just saying, like, the equivalent, I really don't know. I don't know nothing about Mystic Force, Ninja Steel, or none of that stuff. And this was the Disney era. This used to be on like Jetix, Toon Disney, SPD, and a lot of the stuff was on. Well, Ninja Steel was on ABC Family before it became Freeform. Guys, remember ABC Family? It used to be on ABC Family. Yeah, a lot of these were on like ABC Family and Jetix, Toon Disney. But that's besides the point. After the Disney era, I never watch I didn't watch the Nickelodeon era. I've seen it on Nickelodeon and was like, why is this on Nickelodeon? And after that, I went and watched something else. So, just want to let you guys know, bear with me. But again, since we're on this Sentai, I want to ask a question about Cougar. When we get to that, when he gets to the point of Cougar, I want to ask this.
2004 would see the release of Tokusatsu Sentai Deca Ranger, featuring a new mystery theme, along with other police elements. Deca Ranger follows a charismatic group of officers from SPD as they take on space criminals called alienizers. The word Deca is Japanese slang for detective, hence the name. Deca Ranger utilized several unique mechanics to help the team solve crimes, including Jasmine's ability to use ESP via touch, as well as Sin standing on his head in order to figure things out.
これは線のシンキングポーズである。
All of the Rangers featured on the show are overflowing with personality, and the likability and charm of the show would keep it popular for years to come. Deca Ranger is also notable for featuring several auxiliary Rangers who make limited appearances while henshin. Doggy Kruger, also known as Deca Master, is a dog who serves as the mentor for Deca Ranger. Swan becomes Deca Swan, and we even see Deca Bright, who is Deca Break's superior officer. This series featured the most protagonist Rangers ever at the time. Deca Ranger would be adapted into Power Rangers SPD, and Deca Ranger featured 2 separate outros, both of which are of extremely high quality and very catchy. This season is unique in the fact that there isn't really an evil organization, but rather they tend to fight alienizers who are operating in their own interest. Deca Ranger is also the only Sentai where every main ranger goes by a nickname.
He didn't show it, but I'm gonna look it up. I thought he would show Cougar, what Cougar looks like. Give me a moment, guys. I'm gonna show you an image. I'm gonna find some pictures of Cougar. I want to let you guys see this, and I want to ask this question. Because when I was watching, did my reaction to on Jack from shout out to Shaman King 100. When I did that reaction, he mentioned a Cougar. I was like trying to figure out why he looked like that. Okay. Let's see. This picture. Okay. Here's my question. I need someone to bear with me, to let me know the facts about this. Which is actually funny. I got this image off of Reddit just now, and someone asked the same question. But I don't want to read the Reddits about that question. I want to ask you guys in the chat, my YouTube peeps, why in SPD Cougar looks like this? Right? He's more sleek, more cool tones, I guess. Kind of like reptilian a little bit, because I remember I posted a TikTok clip of, and someone mentioned that. But why he looks so more realistic, more real life, I guess you could say, more slick in design, versus this look like someone's persona. I did you not? This Cougar right here looks like something you would see at a furry convention. This looks like someone's persona. Does this not look like someone's persona right here? Does this Cougar just not? I didn't know. Why in the Sentai they made him look so furry? Like, I get it, they made him more dog-like, but that's the point. I get it, like he's more dog-like, but the point is, why does he look like someone's persona? Versus SPD, he looks different. He looks, you can say, like more metallic, more rubbery, more slick in design, more, I can say, more realistic, more humanoid in a way. I just want to know the design choices, like, between the two. Like, what's up with that? Like, seriously, what's up with that? That's all I want to know. If anyone can like let me know in the comments or in the chat when I upload this VOD, if anyone can like let me know in the comments. Oh, feel free to comment. You know, after this, I'm gonna leave the stream up, leave the VOD up. So feel free to comment. I'm gonna read your comments. I'm gonna get to them. My last stream, oh my goodness, you guys was like saying a lot of stuff, and it's like I don't know if I can get to all your respond to everything, but I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna acknowledge it, but I appreciate it, man. And that's love, bro. Like I said, I love the love y'all been showing me. But yeah, I just want to know like, what's up with that for the Cougars.
2005, Toei would head in yet another bold new direction with the wizard-inspired Mahou Sentai Magi Ranger. This show would follow the Ozu family as they utilized their magical abilities to fight against Infertia. This season capitalized on Harry Potter mania by utilizing various themes that you would expect from a magical Sentai, such as magic wands, known as Magi-Sticks, cloaks, and the ability to cast wacky and entertaining spells to turn the tide of battle. Magi Ranger was a fun and whimsical take on the Super Sentai formula. Magi Ranger would be adapted into Power Rangers Mystic Force, and Magi Ranger is unique in having the 6th Ranger known as Magi Shine marry a core member of the team in Urara, or Magi Blue. This was the final season to be shot in standard 4:3 aspect ratio, and this was also the final season to be released on VHS. 2006 saw the Super Sentai franchise enter a new...
This is what, Operation Overdrive or something? Yeah, like I said, after SPD, I don't know nothing. I seen them, like I seen images, but I don't, I can't tell you from can of paint what it's about.
New era with Go-Go Sentai Bokenger, the first season to be filmed in 720p HD. The show was an anniversary season and featured a team of adventurers as they hunted for treasure and battled against the negative syndicates. With the word Boken meaning adventure, it was clear that Toei wanted to invoke the same sense of exploration and excitement present in Western projects like Indiana Jones and Tomb Raider. Our heroes would search for powerful artifacts called precious, and the search for these items would often lead our rangers to exotic new locations that gave this show a ton of hits. With the word Boken meaning adventure, it was clear that Toei wanted to invoke the same sense of exploration and excitement present in Western projects like Indiana Jones and Tomb Raider. Our heroes would search for powerful artifacts called precious, and the search for these items would often lead our rangers to exotic new locations that gave this show a ton of excitement. Bokenger would be adapted.
Okay, so he said something about precious. I was just like thinking that was like a Lord of the Rings reference. That's what I was thinking to myself. That was like a Lord of the Rings reference right there.
Into Power Rangers Operation Overdrive in the West. In addition to the new HD resolution, Bokenger was also notable for having the first 9-piece mecha fusion and a 10-piece mecha fusion.
So I guess this is Jungle Fury. Well, in the West, it's called Jungle Fury. I know these things, guys. Just never watched them. Like I've seen these costumes, I've seen these Rangers. I just don't know anything about them.
2007 was the year of Juken Sentai Geki Ranger, an incredibly unique kung fu and animal themed season focusing on key and various aspects of Chinese mythology. In this series, our heroes would utilize their powers to battle against the evil schools of martial arts. 2007 was the year of Juken Sentai Geki Ranger, an incredibly unique kung fu and animal themed season focusing on key and various aspects of Chinese mythology. In this series,
okay, you see these things right here? I know what they are, but I forgot the names. It's what Chaozu from Dragon Ball is based off of. it's just like little like I wouldn't say they're ghosts. There's something like these supernatural beings. It's what Chasu's based off of. That's why Chasu looks like that. They like to they hop around. I forgot the name. It starts with a J, I believe. It's like from Chinese mythology or folklore.
Series, our heroes would utilize their powers to battle
See how they were hopping around?
against the evil schools of martial arts.
So guys, whoever watched Jungle Fury, are they in Jungle Fury? Those like the little those things, are they in Jungle Fury? Or you have something totally different? And if they are in Jungle Fury, how did they explain that in Jungle Fury? Like how you explain the little henchmen? I guess they're henchmen. They that's what they are. They're just the things that be sent out while the boss or the general or the one in command, and then the monster. You know how things go.
Geki Ranger had a new tone that was completely unlike anything that preceded it, and even featured a cool new wolf-themed Violet Ranger. This show was adapted into Power Rangers Jungle Fury in the US and was released as a dubbed version in South Korea as Power Rangers Wild Spirits. This was the first Sentai to not feature belts on the Rangers' suits, and also the last season to only have 5 total Rangers. 2008 was a high-octane thrill ride with Engine Sentai Go Onger, another car-themed Sentai with an eccentric cast, explosive action, and tons of hilarious comedy. This series followed a group of heroes chosen by mechanical beings called engines to become Go Onger and fight against the Gaiark. In addition to vehicles, Go Onger also featured an animal motif and incorporated themes like pollution and conservationism. Every element of the show is enhanced by a charismatic cast and a story that's consistently fun and entertaining. Go Onger would be adapted into Power Rangers RPM, and this is the first Sentai season to feature 2.
Yeah, I never seen. Yeah, I was trying to figure out. Wait, did we get a Power Rangers thing like this? Did we get like a Power Rangers equivalent? And I realized I need to just mention RPM. Listen, I just told you guys I don't. After the Disney era, after SPD, I can't tell you from a can of paint. Can't tell you who that is. Can't tell you nothing, man. I was trying to figure out because I never seen these Rangers. I never seen these Rangers before. My first time ever seen them. I think I've heard the name RPM, but I never looked up what the Rangers look like. It's my first time ever seeing these Rangers. The other ones I've seen before, but I never seen them. I don't know anything about them.
2 6th Rangers in Go on Wings, consequently making it the first season with a female 6th Ranger as well.
She was cute. Going into like the samurai.
2009 would see the release of a Super Sentai season with a brand new samurai theme in Samurai Sentai Shinkenger. This show follows samurai clan leader Takeru Shiba and his loyal retainers as they henshin into Shinkenger and fight against the Godoshu.
I have a question. Why, from what I understand about samurai, shout out to Ranger Toa. I want to just say, I want to give a special shout out to Ranger Toa. He is the reason why I make content like this. I watch his videos before I watch his streams. He's actually the guy I was watching on his Twitch stream when he was watching on Sentai. So special shout out to Ranger Toa. I know he's a big samurai fan. I know he's a big Jaden Seba fan. He's a diehard fan of him, diehard fan of samurai. Maybe one day I'll do a deep dive on samurai to understand why this guy loves samurai so much. I don't know why exactly. I mean, pretty sure he explained it multiple times. It's just I gotta see it for myself. I got to see this for myself, understand it for myself. I gotta be in the perspective of him. I gotta be in his mindset to understand why he likes samurai. but I want to know, why is Jaden Shiba called named Shiba when clearly he doesn't look, is there you that's the question. That's the question. It all boils down to, why is Jaden Shiba last name Shiba? Can someone explain that to me? Was he adopted? Cause ain't no way he just his family's name is Shiba. I feel like he's gotta be adopted. I feel like he gotta be adopted. I'm just trying to figure this out. I'm really trying to figure out what's up with that. But again, shout out to Ranger Toa. If you ever come across my stream or come across the VOD, want to give you a special shout out. Yeah, back to the video. Well, before we go back to this, again, why is Jaden's last name Shiba? Gotta be adopted, man. If he's not adopted, then if I'm not mistaken, Snow Dude did mention that was Saban. What the heck was Saban? Oh my goodness, bro. I blame Saban for this. You know what? At the end of the day, I blame Saban. I blame him for the day. I blame him. I'm only gonna put the blame on him. If I'm not mistaken, Snow Dude, you had mentioned that Samurai was a new Saban era production. I blame him. I blame Saban for that. Because what in the world? You could have named him something else, but no, you kept the name. you kept the name. Oh my goodness, I really don't want to keep you guys too long. I don't want to go on a whole tangent about that. I've been going on little tangents and stuff, but it's just like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. It's one of those things where in life where, you know how you see like content creators or streamers do like have celebrities on their streams. Imagine if I could get Saban on my stream, right? The questions I would ask this man. Like, imagine if I could get him to sit down and we could have a conversation, because I need to know. I need to pick his brain. I need to pick this man's brain. I need to understand this man in and out. Pause. I just need to understand him, because what in the world was he smoking on? Or 30 years, what has he been smoking on? I want to know, like, where he gets his stuff from. Where does he get his product from? I need to know. I need to know what bro's been smoking on. Who he gets his source from? Who does he get it from? Because I gotta know. I seriously got to know. Before I get to the video, I'm just checking okay. Just checking my stream on YouTube side of things. Just checking. I'm very curious, bro. Like, I can't. I'm sorry, guys. I've been going on a whole tangent about this. It's just like, I don't know. He's probably like one of the people I would love to have on my stream right now, because I need to pick this man's brain, bro. I need to understand what goes on in his head. Yeah. Anyways, let's get back to the video. Let's get back.
Shinkenger sliced a special place for itself within the franchise due to it being so different from many of the other seasons. This show would creatively add the lighthearted Sentai formula to a classic Japanese drama, and somehow it worked perfectly.
I'll say this, all the women here are beautiful. Beautiful women. Hands down, some beautiful women in Sentai. Sentai ladies are beautiful. And the Power Rangers ladies, okay? Power Rangers ladies, they're beautiful too. I'm not gonna just dismiss them. They're beautiful women too. Beautiful women all around. Beautiful women from Sentai and beautiful women from the Power Rangers series. All around, beautiful, gorgeous. Nah.
Shinkinger's entertaining formula proved to be extremely successful with fans, with the show's likable cast, well-choreographed action, and traditional Japanese style making this one of the most popular seasons in history. Shinkinger would also be featured in an exciting and memorable crossover with Kamen Rider Day. Well-choreographed action, and traditional Japanese style making this one of the most popular seasons in history.
Okay, you guys see this blue one? Okay, cool question. So far, from what I understand, they don't have this in Zoo Ranger. That's like a Mighty Morphin thing. You guys remember in Mighty Morphin where the Red Ranger had that red dragon mech? Was that like an original thing for Mighty Morphin? So I looked it up and I believe it's just original. That wasn't from Sentai. So Saban just made something up. He just made up a red dragon out of nowhere. I mean, cool. Like, I ain't gonna lie, you know, I give him credit. I give Saban credit. That sequence was kind of cool. That was a cool sequence. Like, yeah, that was kind of cool. Like, let me look that up. It was from Die Ranger. Okay. So that red dragon was from Die Ranger. Okay. I thought it was cause I was like trying to figure out where it came from. Cause I don't remember. Cause like, you know, again, I've been watching Zoo Ranger, and I was like, I didn't see that in Zoo Ranger. So I'm gonna look up that footage. Die Ranger, Red Dragon. I need to get YouTube Premium. I keep forgetting to sign up for it. Okay, just give me a moment, guys. I'm trying to find the footage. Okay. Let's hope we can okay, give me a moment. You know how this gets with okay, I'll put it like this. Cause this is a clip, guys, and last time Toei on my stream was like really, yeah. Thank God it's not a strike though. I ain't got no strike, but still, it's just like, yeah, I think they are very, yeah. This is from MMPR, but I also found like the Sentai version. Thank you, Latran, if I'm pronouncing that right, if I'm mentioning that. It is kind of low. I did put the volume a little low because, you know, it's a clip, you know. So I'm going to put it a little low for you guys to hear, but not too high because it's a clip and I don't want to see another copyright or see my stream get blocked or anything. Which is crazy because it's on YouTube. I don't understand that. Like, I'm watching, I don't know why my chat did that. I'm watching this on YouTube, right? Shouldn't they cut me some slack? It's on YouTube. It's on your platform. Why you do that? Why give me a copyright? I don't quite understand that. Like, it makes no sense at all. But let's just get to the point. That's a whole thing. Again, guys, it's low because the copyright. Okay, see how in Samurai they had that dragon that was blue, and here it's the red dragon. And this is like the coolest thing ever. Not gonna lie. Okay, let me. Yeah, they got the music going. Okay. Yeah, okay. I just want to show you the dragon really is okay. And you mentioned Die Ranger. Okay. I think this is from the Sentai. Let's see. If I'm not mistaken, this is from the Sentai. This is what I looked up. I mean, this is the first thing I saw. So, let me know if this is the right footage. Let me lower that because even though it's not music, it just feels like they may be coming for just having the sound of the actors talking. Totally. I don't know if this is the same dragon, but oh well. You guys get the point. You guys get the point where I'm trying to come from. I don't want to stay on that too long because like I said, Toei. I'm gonna show you guys in a minute. Okay. Flip the screen. Okay. Give me a moment, guys. I want to show you guys something real quick. Give me a moment. I'm just to make sure I've. Okay. I don't think I have nothing like. But yeah, this is Toei. This is all Toei from my last stream, right? I tried to dispute it. All my disputes got rejected. This is everything Toei is trying to come after me for. No strike. Thank God it's no strike. I could still have it up, but still, it's like, man. So I'm like trying to be careful. But yeah, all this. Audio visual. Like Toei, bro. Like, just want to show you guys the stuff I gotta deal with behind the scenes. Just want to show you guys what I gotta deal with behind the scenes, so you guys can understand where I'm coming from. Okay, let's get back to the video. If you guys are any like tech gurus that can help me out with getting past copyright, where we could watch clips, because in the future, you know, I want to watch clips of movies and TV shows like to prove a point. Sometimes I got references, and those references might like be copyright, and it's just like, ugh. Like earlier, that was a reference. That was a reference. I want to make a point of something, and you know, it is what it is. You learn as you grow, or learn as you go, so to speak.
Would also be featured in an exciting and memorable crossover with Kamen Rider Decade, a first for both franchises. Shinkenger was adapted into Power Rangers Samurai in the West, and this show famously featured a temporary female Red Ranger in Princess Kaoru. As time has gone on, Shinkenger has cemented itself as a truly legendary entry into the franchise. In 2010, Toei would try to follow up on Shinkenger's success with a brand new angelic Sentai in Tensou Sentai Goseiger. This show follows a group of Gosei angels as they fight against the evil spirits, and incorporates a playing card theme into the formula. Although Goseiger never reached the same heights as Shinkenger, this show would still deliver a lot of things that made Sentai popular, including a charming cast, a lot of exciting action, and a sense of wonder. Goseiger was adapted into Power Rangers Megaforce in the West. Goseiger is also unique in the fact that the Red Ranger, Alata, is not officially recognized as a leader. In fact, there isn't an official leader of this team. This was also the first season where all of the Rangers on the team used cards to henshin, as opposed to just one of the Rangers, as was the case with Magi Shine of Magi Ranger.
Okay. I believe Snow Dude mentioned that before. I think he mentioned that. I think it was Snow Dude, or someone in the chat had mentioned that sometimes they don't always have to have a leader, and sometimes Red isn't always the leader. Okay.
Although Goseiger isn't remembered as well as Shinkenger or some other seasons in the franchise, there was a lot of quality in the series, and it did a good job continuing the legacy of Super Sentai.
It's just like some big ears, like it's got some Dumbo ears. Not making fun of the actress, not making fun of no one's looks. I'm just saying, like, it's like kind of cute though. It's like look cute Dumbo ears, like big ears.
The case with Magi Shine of Magi Ranger. Although Goseiger isn't remembered as well as Shinkenger or some other seasons in the franchise, there was a lot of quality in the series, and it did a good job.
Yeah, like her ears are kind of cute. They're kind of big though. Again, not making fun of the actors, just noticing how like interesting they are.
Of continuing the legacy of Super Sentai. In 2011, the world wasn't ready for the phenomenon known as Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger, a pirate-themed anniversary season and one of the most popular Sentai seasons of all time. This season follows a group of charismatic space pirates as they take on the evil space empire Zodiac. This season celebrates the rich history of Sentai.
I think it was this. I think that's what Ranger Toa was watching. Snow Dude. The content creator was Ranger Toa. And what he was watching on his stream was this. I wish we could watch stuff, man. Like, I wish we could watch stuff. I don't know how people could do it on Twitch, man. I don't know how people get away with it. Like, watching stuff. Like, I've seen people watch anime. I've seen people, you know, Toa watch Sentai. I've seen Geekdom watch Dragon Ball and Sentai. I'm like, yo, how they get away with that? I wish I could do that, but I don't know. Risk my channels. Like, bro, listen, guys, listen. If it was my way, if you got it my way, right now we'll be watching a lot of stuff. We'll be watching like movies, Sentai, anime, anything you could think of. We'll be watching and reacting it live in real time. But I can't, and I don't want to like risk my channels doing that. Maybe in the future, maybe like one day I'm gonna get my own Patreon. I know some creators have Patreon, and when I get Patreon, we could do that. You know, we can like do our thing on Patreon. Sure, it's gonna be a paywall, but I'll make it affordable for you guys in the future, like one day, one of these days. But yeah, that was like my that's kind of the end goal of it all. The end goal is one day I can react to stuff for you guys. Like I really react to like uncensored. Like I want to react to stuff uncensored, so we could all enjoy it. You know, it's like, you know.
And incorporates many elements, characters, and suit designs from previous seasons. In fact, the Gokaijers themselves had the ability to hench into all of the previous Rangers from the series by utilizing various Ranger keys. Gokaiger was led by Captain Marvelous, an eccentric anti-hero with no fear and tons of style and flair. This team is extremely endearing, despite them not always acting like heroes. These Rangers take what they want by force, but defend what they believe in fiercely, and always make a show of things. This season was so popular that Gokaiger would appear in more crossover and team-up projects than any other season in history, and it would be adapted into Power Rangers Super Megaforce in the West. This was also the first Sentai season to be released on Blu-ray. 2001 also saw the release of the biggest Sentai film of all time in 199 Hero Grey Battle, an explosive and highly entertaining celebration of Super Sentai. This film features 199 heroes from the history of Super Sentai, and it feels like a climax to the entire franchise. This movie, of course, features a ton of Rangers in costume, but we also see a few unhinged that we haven't seen in a long time. It's excellent fan service, and longtime fans of the franchise will definitely enjoy it. It's something that set this huge movie apart from all the other ones. At this point, it's considered an absolute classic. Toei would continue to ride the wave of Gokaiger's success in 2012 with another huge crossover movie in Gokaiger vs. Gavin. This movie was the company's attempt at introducing Space Sheriff Gavin from the retired Metal Hero series to a new generation, and by teaming up with Gokaiger they would do just that. This movie sees Gavin attempting to capture the Gokaigers, but eventually he himself becomes captured by a group of villains and the Gokaigers have to rescue him. This movie heavily leans into the popularity of Gokaiger, and there is a staggering amount of fan service here. Legendary Toku actor Kinji Oba reprised his role as Gavin, and we even have appearances from his other famous roles as Battle Kenya and Dingy Blue. And if that wasn't enough, we were even treated to an appearance from the next Sentai series. 2012's official Sentai series was Tokume Sentai Go Busters, a slick new Sentai themed around technology and spies. This series introduced a lot of new concepts, like the Rangers having machine partners and the numerous references to the Western Power Rangers franchise due to this being the 20th anniversary of Zyuranger, the show that was adapted into the first season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. In this series, our heroes would battle against Vaglas. The style of this show was fresh and exciting and continued the streak of excellent seasons in recent years. Go Busters was originally skipped over for a Power Rangers adaptation, but after Hasbro bought the Power Rangers brand, Go Busters would be adapted into Power Rangers Beast Morphers and debut in 2019. This was the first season where the suits are made of leather and...
So, mix this. Is Hasbro doing a good job with the franchise? Are they doing a good job? Because I don't know. Like, I don't know if Hasbro's doing a good job. Or I think they might be doing a not so good. But let me know if Hasbro is doing a good job or not.
The first season...
Wait. Is Hasbro behind the 2017 movie? I can't remember.
where the team's name is plural. And Go Busters even featured Hiroya Matsumoto as Masato Jin, or Beatbuster, returning to the franchise years after playing Tsubasa Ozu or Magi Yellow in Magi Ranger. Also released in 2012 was a huge new film project to commemorate the 10th anniversary of TV Asahi's Superhero Time, Superhero Taisen, which would focus mostly on Gokaiger, the Go Busters, Kamen Rider Decade, Foze, and Oz. This movie focuses on Captain Marvelous as he seeks to gain the ultimate power in the universe while commanding the Daizangyak fleet. At the same time, Kamen Rider Decade leads Dai Shocker on a campaign to destroy all Sentais. This movie featured a ton of fan service for fans of both Super Sentai and Kamen Rider, and Marvelous vs. Decade would be an absolute treat for fans. In 2012, we also got a hilarious new...
I've heard about this one. I've seen a video about this Akiba Ranger. I've heard about it. It's really funny.
New Sentai spin-off in Hikonin Sentai Akiba Ranger, a parody of the franchise. Being aimed at older fans of the series, Akiba Ranger was crude, creative, and unapologetically unique. This show would feature many elements and characters from the series, albeit with a very different tone than what fans were used to. This show is very meta in the way that it focuses on the team's delusions, and it makes it so you oftentimes don't know what's real and what's a delusion. This is the first Sentai where both the Yellow and Blue Rangers are female, it is the shortest Sentai, and it's the first one meant for mature audiences. This show also got a second season, a first for the franchise. 2013 marked the franchise's third Dino-themed season, with Juden Sentai Kyoryuger, the first season to be broadcast in 1080p Full HD. Kyoryuger wowed fans with its energetic presentation and large cast of likable characters. And speaking of the large cast, there are 11 protagonist rangers in this series, the most ever at the time.
11? Wow, that's a lot.
The title of the show is actually a reference to Zyuranger because they basically have the same name but reversed. Juden Sentai Kyoryuger versus Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger. This show would be adapted into Power Rangers Dino Charge and Super Charge. Although this series had disappointing viewership numbers, its toy sales were exceptional, and Super Sentai was alive and healthy in 2013. Also in 2013, we got the first ever 10 Years After movie of the franchise, Hurricaneger 10 Years After. This takes place 10 years after the show, and would catch us up with what the Rangers were up to in 2013. This was fun to see where they are now, including Ikko's new band, and Kota being a father now. This was an excellent celebration for fans of Hurricaneger. 2014 brought us Resha Sentai Tokuger, an imaginative and heartfelt Sentai season themed around trains. Tokuger offered fans a...
Trains, okay. I noticed that it's a lot of animal theme, a lot of core theme, you could say. But trains, that's the first. I might be missing some other themes, but that's the ones that like come out the most. It's like animal and some type of vehicle.
Lighthearted and fun experience, complete with a charming cast that fans would largely respond well to. Despite this, the TV ratings were once again below Toei's expectations, and this series would be skipped over entirely by Power Rangers in the West. This season featured the Rangers' ability to swap colors with each other, and featured the first Orange Ranger since Battle Fever J. In 2015, Toei introduced what would prove to be one of the least popular seasons in the history of Sentai with Shuriken Sentai Ninja, another ninja-themed season. This show was adapted into Power Rangers Ninja Steel / Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel in the West, and Ninja featured a lot of comedy and lighthearted antics with a focus on ninjas not hiding. But the cast and story unfortunately never connected with fans in the same way as other seasons. After this, we were treated to Deca Ranger 10 years after, in which 10 years after the show, after the Rangers have gone their separate paths, the Rangers have to investigate a corrupt head of SPD, as well as the evil Neo Deca Red and Neo Deca Yellow. This was a story that showcased the detective skills of the Rangers and put them in a scenario that's slightly different from the ones we had seen previously.
ジャスミンはエスパーである。その手を通して人の心が読み取れるのだ。
Deca Ranger was one of the most successful Super Sentai seasons of all time, and the quality that made it successful would continue with this film. *2016 saw the release of an animal-themed Sentai with a bit of Minecraft thrown in for good measure. This was Dobutsu Sentai Zhuouzhi, a 40th anniversary season.
Minecraft? Like actual Minecraft?
This series followed a group of humans and Jumins who are
Okay, wow, real life Minecraft. Okay. First, didn't think this would be possible. Didn't think this was gonna be a thing. Okay. I stand corrected.
Animal-like creatures as they take on the space outlaws Death Galleon.
So like, they live in Minecraft, right? Like the Minecraft universe, Minecraft world. Like Steve, right? If you guys, know about Minecraft, if you know about the Minecraft movie. So it's like that, right? Is that how it is? Like these Rangers live in the Minecraft world.
This season, although somewhat divisive, still saw an uptick in viewership, and the Jumins, cubic theming, and the suit designs made this one of the most unique seasons of all time. In 2017, Sentai fans would go on an epic space journey with the biggest and one of the most unique teams in history, Uchu Sentai Q Ranger. Q Ranger featured the largest team size in history as they take on the space shogunate Dark Matter. This was one of the most unique seasons of Sentai ever, and it would have a larger international reach than other recent seasons, as Q Ranger would air in Indonesia for the first time since Ginga Man.
So from what I understand, these Rangers are in space. These Sentai Rangers are in space. Okay. You already know how I feel about the Sabin era.
Elements of the season would be adapted into Power Rangers Cosmic Fury. This show
Ain't gonna lie, isn't that the same guy? Well, not necessarily the same guy, but like
than other recent seasons, as Q Ranger would air in Indonesia for the first time since Ginga Man. Elements of the season.
See this guy right here in the black? He kind of looks like, what's his name? Magna Defender? That's his name, Magna Defender? From, I forgot what's the Sentai version, but in the Power Rangers version is Lost Galaxy. This is just their version of Lost Galaxy. Dang. I mean, if you get in space, like their version of In Space and Lost Galaxy, because I guess up to this point they never really had like a Sentai that was like primarily space themed. If I'm making sense of this.
Would be adapted into Power Rangers Cosmic Fury. This show is notable for the actress Mao, who previously played Luca Milfi / Gokai Yellow in Gokaiger, returning to the franchise to do the voice of Washi Pink. Q Ranger was set in a universe dominated by the villain faction. It features themes and equipment based on the constellations, and with 12 Rangers featured in the show, this was an incredibly unique and memorable season.
警察戦隊パトレンジャー
2018 brought us the first Sentai season to feature 2 opposing teams in the Cops and Robbers themed Kaito Sentai Lupin Ranger versus Keisatsu Sentai Pat Ranger. This season featured a team of thieves in Lupin Ranger and a team of cops in Pat Ranger as they take on each other. The concept of featuring 2 teams of Rangers was incredibly unique on its own, but this show even had a 6th Ranger referred to as X, who was part of both teams, a first for the franchise. Pat Ranger was the first Sentai team without a Blue Ranger. This was the first season without an outro song, and this was the last season to date that featured the word Ranger in its title. Kicking off 2019 was a huge 4-part miniseries featuring Rangers from throughout the franchise's history in the 4-week continuous special Super Sentai Strongest Battle. This series featured a tournament in which Rangers from Sentai history would battle against each other to have a wish granted. Rangers from different teams would be mixed together to create cool new Ranger combos, and this miniseries was heavily focused on delivering fan service to the audience. This small project was a great intermission between Lupin Ranger vs. Pat Ranger and the next main Sentai series that would follow. Later in 2019, we would see the release of another Dino-themed Sentai and the final season to debut in the Heisei era with Kishiryu Sentai U-Soldier.
Give me a moment, Gus. I'll be right back. Give me a moment. Okay, I'm back, and I just went to the bathroom. Like, just came back, and I saw my monitor. Someone subscribed. Hey, thank you for subscribing to the channel. I can't read what your name is, but hey, thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Just want to let you know again. Thank you. We're at 52, guys. Yo, we started off at 49, and we're at 52. Again, thank you guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's funny my Nightbot there didn't do nothing. It's funny I don't got nothing from my Nightbot. I have Nightbot set up. It's kind of funny. Maybe I need to set up my Nightbot after stream. But other than that, let's get back to the video.
This series returned to the Dino theme, but this time with a much more aggressive look. This show featured the U soldiers fight.
Oh, sorry if I forgot to mute to move it, because sometimes if I don't have it muted, you guys gonna hear me move my mic. But again, is your name in kanji? Is that kanji? If the characters are kanji characters.
Fighting against Drudon. This season of Sentai would be adapted into Power Rangers Dino Fury. U-Soldier also featured familiar elements mixed with some fresh new ideas, and this was the first Sentai to feature a Brown Ranger. 2020 brought us the first Sentai season of the Reiwa era in Machine Sentai Kiramager, a magic, vehicle, and gemstone themed season that would endear itself to the Sentai community. In this
So, if I'm not mistaken, I think Japan is now in the Reiwa era. Like y'all are, Japan's currently in the Reiwa era. I think what does that mean exactly? If any Japanese chatters or viewers know what the arrows mean exactly, what does the Reiwa era mean? Is that based on the emperor or something? I think y'all still have like an emperor. 'Cause I know I've seen like a video of like the princess. And I think there's like multiple princesses, if I'm not mistaken. I know one married, I guess you could say, a commoner. Like one of the princesses married I guess a commoner. She kind of like did the same thing like Prince Harry in a sense. If I'm not mistaken, like if I remember like the story behind that. But yeah, just want to know the difference, like the arrows, like they're like based on the names of the emperors or something.
series, our heroes battle against Emperor Yodon and the Dark.
It's based on the emperor. Okay. And it's like their version of like the years, right? It's like you're basically saying like, okay, if you were born in 2026, I would assume is the Reiwa era. You would say I was born in the Reiwa era, pretty much, right? I don't know what era I was born in now. I have to look it up.
Dark Emperor Yodonheim. This season delivered tons of charm and lighthearted humor, along with emotional moments that added weight to the story. Unfortunately, due to the 2020 pandemic, the tail end of production for this show was chaotic behind the scenes, and production would wrap early at only 45 episodes. Next, we retreated to the 10th anniversary of Gokaiger with 10 Gokaiger. Taking place 10 years after the events of the series, we would see the reunion of the most popular Sentai team of all time. This movie featured Captain Marvelous squaring off against tons of classic Rangers, with the stipulation that if he loses, he's gonna lose his key, but if he wins all of the other Ranger keys. Due to Gokaiger's insane popularity, 10 Gokaiger was extremely successful and would help to solidify the tradition of having anniversary movies going forward. In 2021, Toei brought us Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger, an anniversary season loaded with uniqueness and fan service. This series features a team full of Kikanoids along with a human who becomes Zenkaiser, as they look like a mashup of previous Sentai characters and take on Tojitindo. As an anniversary season, this show is loaded with fan service, and there's tons of references to previous seasons. The Kikanoids are meant to look like various mecha from the series, and Zenkaiser is himself a mashup of previous Rangers. Apparently, this series was originally going to be called Sentai Sentai Sentaiger, but I guess Toei just...
So, are they people? Like, are these, like, actual people? I mean, granted, they're people in the suits. I mean, like, in the show-wise, are they people? Like, are they just mechs? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, if these are, like, mechs or people that... you get what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to figure this out, like, because he's a person. When he transformed into, like, you know, like a ranger. So, them, like, or they just mechs, you know?
couldn't pull the trigger on such a hilariously weird title. Zenkaiger isn't remembered as favorably as other seasons within the community, but it did do a good job of paying tribute to the series as a whole. Additionally, we got the crossover between Kamen Rider Saber and Zenkaiger, known as Saber and Zenkaiger Superhero Senki, meant to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Kamen Rider and the 45th anniversary of Super Sentai. This was a huge, explosive celebration of Toei's brand of Tokusatsu, and one of the largest projects that Super Sentai had ever seen before. 2022 brought us Avataro Sentai Don Brothers, one of the most unique Sentais of all time due to it being based off of the legend of Momotaro. Don Brothers captivated fans with its high levels of energy and signature style. The Rangers here are based on different animals from the legend, and several of which are portrayed exclusively by CGI, a first for the franchise. Interestingly enough, this show was originally marketed as a sequel to Zenkaiger, something that hadn't happened since Sun Vulcan in 1981. For Don Brothers, Toei was focused on mixing up traditional Ranger roles, with the Pink Ranger being male, and the Rangers have visually unique powers due to the freedom that CGI animation provides. Don Brothers was the first show in the franchise with brothers in the title. 2023 was the year of royalty with the regal Osama Sentai King Ogier. This season featured a team of rangers that are all rulers of their respective kingdoms.
It might have been this one that Ranger Toa watched. I think it might be this one too. It was either this one or the other one, but I'm pretty sure it's this one.
King Ogier was the very first.
Well, why? Why? That sounds so funny.
2023 was the year of royalty with the regal Osama Sentai King Ogier. This season featured a team of rangers that are all rulers of their respective kingdoms. King.
That's really funny, that sound. But yeah, I think it might have been this one. I think this is the one that Toa watched on his stream. I believe it. I think it was this one. It wasn't. I don't think it was the other one. I just remember it's like it kind of reminded me of the other one. I forgot. There's so many Sentais I can't remember all their names on top of my head. But Yeah, it's not the pirate thing one. It's not. I don't think it was the pirate thing one. I think it was this one, which this one kind of does give me a little bit pirate thing.
Gozer was the very first Sentai season to be themed around insects, and their suits are more armored than in previous seasons. They also featured a half cape, reminiscent of a scarf, making them look somewhat similar to a Kamen Rider. This season also featured the most CGI ever by far, with it being used for nearly every background.
Yeah, it was this one. It was this one. Now I see it. It was this one. It was this one I seen on Toa's stream. Shout out to Ranger Toa again. Shout out to him. Guys, go check him out.
As well as the mecha and some characters.
You got it! Oh yeah!
I just love that. Oja. Pronouncing it, probably mispronouncing it, but it's just so funny. Oja.
Background, as well as the mecha and some characters.
You got it! Oh yeah!
This show delivered some cool new ideas to the Sentai franchise and was received generally pretty well by the fans, especially in Japan. Next up is Hurricanea de Gozaru Shushuto 20th Anniversary, a huge new 20th anniversary project for Hurricanea taking place in the Edo period. This movie focuses heavily on the predecessors of the Hurricaners and the Gal Riders as they engage in conflict over the protection of Princess Teruhime and the Ascension Stone that she possesses. Eventually, this movie sees Rangers from the Edo period as well as from the modern day crossing over with each other, and it makes for a very interesting take on the Hurricaner formula. After this, we got the Aba Ranger 20th Anniversary movie, The Unforgivable Abare.
If anyone's seen a Sentai, well, not this particular Sentai, but the, Sentai of itself, it's the black one. That sounds so crazy to say. You know what I mean? I mean, the Black Ranger. Is he like the mentor of the group? Because I know Jason David Frank, if I pronounce this, if I remember that's his name correctly, Tommy Oliver, he was like the mentor of the Rangers. So I just want to know, in this Sentai, is it like the mentor to the Rangers?
This takes place 20 years after Aba Ranger, and it places these Rangers into a world that doesn't necessarily view them as heroes, making for a very interesting new take on their story. 2024 brought us Bakuage Sentai Boon Boomjer, another vehicle-themed Sentai. This show delivers a
I don't like these costumes. I don't like this one.
heavy dose of slapstick humor and wackiness.
No? Okay, so he's just a ranger. Okay. Thank you for telling me that, Cassandra.
And also features two of the rarest Ranger colors in Sentai history with Boon Orange and Boon Violet. Boon Boomjer delivers a fun, laid-back tone that never takes itself too seriously.
I just don't like these costumes. Like, compared to other Sentais, the costumes are good, but just I don't know. I don't like the helmets. I don't like how their helmets are wheels.
Though the series has been somewhat divisive within the community, only time will tell what the legacy of Boon Boomjer will be. 2024 also delivered the fun 20th anniversary project of Deca Ranger, with Deca Ranger 20th Fireball Booster. This movie had an exciting new mystery story that fits right into the Deca Ranger universe. We were also treated to an awesome looking new form for Deca Red called Premier Deca Red, and a satisfying twist that would send the audience home happy. Even after 20 years, Deca Ranger was still hilarious, charming, and one of the most loved Sentais of all time. Recently, Kaku Ranger fans were treated to the 30th anniversary project of Kaku Ranger, titled Ninja Sentai.
Middle-aged struggles is hilarious. The fact that his title is middle-aged struggles. That's so funny.
Kaku Ranger Act 3, Middle Age Struggles.
Ninja Sentai Kamen Rider Kenkan!
This is the first 30th anniversary film of the franchise, and it would see the Rangers reprise their roles from the original series. And to see these classic Rangers reprise their roles was an absolute treat. Kaku Ranger was the very first Ninja Sentai, and is extremely deserving of the 30th anniversary treatment. So after 50 plus years of Super Sentai, this franchise has established itself as an absolutely legendary and groundbreaking collection of stories and characters. Super Sentai has treated us to some awesome looking costumes, sinister and memorable villains, and tons of hilarious moments that put smiles on our faces. We've been introduced to some amazing characters that we'll always remember, and as new fans discover this amazing franchise every day for the first time, the future of Super Sentai looks bright, and the love that the fandom has for Super Sentai is stronger than ever. What are your absolute favorite moments from the history of Super Sentai? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, it'd mean tons to me if you would smack the shit out of that like button. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time. Bye.
Okay, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that stream. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I enjoyed myself. It was sexy. I learned a lot about Sentai. I learned about a lot about Super Sentai. And I'm glad you guys were here. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Thank you for being in my stream. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you again. I was going to do Kamen Rider and Ultraman, but I'm about to end. I've been streaming for like over 3 hours now, so I figured I would do those another time. Let me know if you guys want me to do another reaction to the history of Kamen Rider and the history of Ultraman. I might do 2 streams separately, like how this is a separate stream of from Kamen Rider and Ultraman. So next time I do a stream like that, it'll be Kamen Rider. So it'll just be like we'll do the dive into the history of Kamen Rider, and then we'll dive into the history of Ultraman. And I think he has a video on Godzilla, so we're gonna do a Godzilla history video too. But that'll probably be like sometime during the month of March. You know, sometime in March I'll do like streams like that. Because the next time I stream Lord's Will, it'll be tomorrow, and I'm gonna be doing Pokemon Presents. I'll be reacting to the Pokemon Presents tomorrow morning, and hopefully I might play Resident Evil sometime over the weekend. Sometime over the weekend I'll play Resident Evil 9 on stream on YouTube sometime. But again, I want to say thank y'all. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being a part of the stream, being part of the chat. Let me know if you enjoy my commentary. Let me know if you enjoy my reactions. Let me know if you want to see more Toku content from me. Even though this isn't a primary Tokusatsu channel, I do reactions. I do watch Tokusatsu stuff. I watch Super Sentai stuff mostly. That's what I mainly know because I grew up watching Power Rangers. So, but just let me know. And when we get to the Kamen Rider, let me know what Kamen Rider you guys want to see me do. Right now I'm doing Gara Ranger, and in the future I want to do a Zoo Ranger, do a reaction video of Zoo Ranger. But check out my Gara Ranger videos. Check out all my other videos on my channel. Leave a like, leave a comment. Again, Lord's Will, I'll be back tomorrow morning because of Pokemon Present. I remembered it and then I forgot it, but then I was like, wait, hold on, Friday? Oh, Pokemon Presents. I just remembered it. I forgot I was supposed to do a stream because originally I was going to do something else, but then I was like, oh, I got to remind myself, Pokemon Presents tomorrow. So I got to be up in the morning tomorrow to react to the Pokemon Presents. And again, like I said, sometime over the weekend I'll do Resident Evil 9 gameplay on stream. And yesterday I was gonna go live on Twitch. I was supposed to do a manga reading stream and a gaming stream, but I was it's like stuff happened uh yesterday, so I didn't get around to do it. But today I showed up for YouTube though, and again, thank you for guys for showing up. And thank you for thank you thank you for subscribing. We started at 49 subscribers, guys. We started off at 49, and now we're ending at 52. Again, give it up to you guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support, for the bottom of my heart. I know you guys left a lot of comments in my last stream. Over the weekend, I'm going to read those comments. Again, I may not respond to everything, but I'll make sure to like and heart it. And again, thank you. I appreciate it. So come back tomorrow, Lord's will. Come back tomorrow. We'll do Pokemon Presents, that stream. And I'm going to do another stream, hopefully over the weekend, the Resident Evil 9 stream. And maybe this weekend I will do my Power Ranger episode 4 to 5. Episode 4 and 5 video. I'm probably record that, but I'm going to probably upload that next week. I'll probably do the recording this weekend, but I edit it and upload it for next week. So be on the lookout for that. And be on the lookout for other videos I got, you know. I have like other videos I want to make and other reaction videos I want to make in the future. And other stuff outside of reactions. I do want to like move from reactions and do other stuff. So if you got some ideas you want me to do, I could try to do it. But again, thank you. Hopefully this video doesn't get copyright. I don't think it should get copyright because we didn't really watch any clips. Well, we watched one clip. Well, 2 clips, but you know, it is what it is. Like yesterday. No, was it yesterday? No, I didn't stream yesterday. It was Tuesday. Tuesday stream. Got like a lot of copyright. I showed you guys what goes on behind the scenes. So yeah. But other than that, thank you. Again, thank you. So just come back tomorrow, Lord's will, and check out all my other content. Check out all my other videos. So, further ado, I'm gonna see y'all next time.